How is there so much news to cover on a Saturday? And this is news from yesterday on a Friday, which is even worse. Nothing ever comes out on Friday. What is going on, man? Well, damn, I guess we're gonna have to keep talking about some crazy, crazy news. We got a lot of Twitch news, culture news, and we got a lot of gaming news to cover because everything is absolutely broken in the best ways possible because everything is collapsing. All this bullshit gaming culture that we hate, it's all going away. And I can't wait for things to get back to normal. And if it doesn't, oh well, we're just going to keep making fun of it. Twitch CEO Dan Clancy begs for forgiveness over assault of Imaru. Way too late, probably because he realized the entire internet fucking hates him. And if he was actually sorry, if Twitch was actually sorry, if they actually felt remorse for this, then they would have said something immediately besides the bullshit that Dan Clancy said in that interview with Taylor Lorenz. Absolutely disgusting. Somebody needs to get rid of this guy. Somebody at Amazon needs to just, all right, time to get rid of Dan Clancy. Let's put somebody else in there. You think it's going to happen? Probably not. I don't think Amazon really cares. I think Amazon's a disgusting garbage corporation also. I think Jeff Bezos is evil. Anyway, let's get into this video from Camelot331. Fucking love this guy.
Dan Clancy's in the news cycle because he finally swallowed his pride. He finally swallowed his pride and got his face out of the 20-year-old cheeks of a streamer.
Damn.
Okay. For more than 5 seconds to
19-year-olds more like.
Finally put out a statement.
20 is probably too old for him. He likes the girls whose age starts with a 1.
About the downfall and Twitch pretty much burning to the ground in the last 2 weeks. Everybody's seen it, noticing the down.
It's been slowly burning. It's like there was fires and they were trying to, pretend they weren't there and kind of stomp them out a little bit. And now, oh man, they can't even piss on the fire because it's just blazing. It's too big. They can't even get close to it, and it's getting worse and worse, and it's crumbling. Somebody's going to have to pick up the pieces and build something new out of the rubble.
Downfall with Hassan and all these people for a long time. Twitch is a has-been. It's a shell of its former self. It's embarrassing, really.
Yeah, as soon as they banned Trump, it's been downhill.
Now, that being said, who is responsible? Dan Clancy. Well, if you guys haven't been following it,
yeah, it's always the CEO who's responsible, but actually it's not just Dan Clancy. It's the entire higher-ups. It's like the board. It's everybody who's like the top streamers that are connected to Dan Clancy. Dan Clancy's favorite streamers. All the e-girls.
Dan Clancy pretty much uses his CEO title to hang out with young streamers who are his
Hey, I know what this is from. This is from that music video that just released.
Employees. Like I've said before, it's one thing for a billionaire to hang out with a stripper that's 25. That's one thing. It's another thing for a millionaire CEO to hang out with his employees and use that clout to try to get in some guts and make some pisser smashing happen. Which
Oof, I love the way he says shit, man. But it's true. Like, bro, it's if he would have just been hanging out with strippers, that wouldn't be that big a deal. It'd be like kind of gross, but this is actually like a power move from him, from Dan Clancy. This is some actual Harvey Weinstein shit, man. But the leftoids, they love Harvey Weinstein now. Especially people like Emma Watson.
I don't really think is okay, and I don't think anybody would agree it is either. So, at any rate, he released a statement, and we're going to jump right into it and have a good-ass time. And wait until you see the last damn paragraph. It's going to blow your cheeks out the water. You want to jump out of the water and get your cheeks and go back in. Like this, share it for the algorithm, comment down below. Don't be a bitch ass.
Oh, right.
Let's jump into the sauce. Yep. So here we go. Here's Dan Clancy himself finally addressing all the sauce. It says, first, I want to be upfront and take accountability for the security incident that occurred during Imaru's meet and greet. It shouldn't have happened, and we take that very seriously. We failed. Now, I want to put this out there. When you're in the position Dan Clancy is in, and when you've been caught running around with girls, partying, basically acting like one of the boys, but being in a professional CEO role, no one's taking your lawyer curated statement very serious, in my opinion. Okay, you're making this like corporate Walmart sounding statement.
We failed. No, you haven't failed. You are failing.
When everybody knows that's not who you are. That's number one for me, right? It says both in allowing this to occur and our response following. And what he means is the backlash from the response. If there was never any video of this happening, or if there was never any backlash, Dan Clancy would be partying right now with
This is an entire PR move that was curated by attorneys.
So it wouldn't really matter. We mismanaged our communications about the incident, and that includes the comments I made. I apologize to Imaru for all that took place. Now, what he's referring to is victim blaming.
Yeah, in that Taylor Lorenz interview that he did. Dude, like, why would you be interviewed by Taylor Lorenz? She is actually a glazer, and she's a gaslighter and a liar and a leftoid freak. And she loves Hassan. She really wants to get in his pants.
Right? He's basically saying
she probably wants to hide him there.
Saying that Imaru should have banned the people that could have been a threat to her, and they wouldn't have, for some reason, showed up to a public event, which doesn't really make sense. He continues, what are we doing moving forward? For meet and greets, we've begun a complete analysis of the incident that took place, as well as other issues that came to our attention after TwitchCon concluded.
Probably the situation with the badges, the wristbands, and Neon being able to just basically put himself in somebody else's panel and pretend he was a different guy, and they didn't even check.
We're examining everything from how we do signups to the layout to increase security controls. And I got to put this out there. TwitchCon has been negative for a long time, and
yeah, it's been getting worse and worse and worse. And next year's is going to be a complete disaster, or it's going to be too tight, and it's not going to be fun for anybody.
They've had these issues for a long time. They only are reacting because of video footage and backlash of something that happened at TwitchCon. Whilst
multiple things that happened. By the way, in this statement, nothing was mentioned about VTubers, nothing about gifts, nothing about, employees of the venue being garbage. And it's not even really the employees' fault. It's the bosses of the employees and the bosses' bosses and the bosses' bosses' bosses.
CEO was at the club drinking and partying with 20-year-old girls that are his employees whilst this happened, right?
Yep, not going to bring that up, not going to mention all of that.
So it's always had this problem. They were just waiting for something to go wrong so they could finally do something about it.
That's usually how it goes with these retards that end up in positions of power. Probably because nobody wants to actually do it except for the retards. And they use it as an end to get into the party, an end to make more and more money, an end to have power.
It says we're also doing a comprehensive review of overall event safety and security, and we'll be making updates for future TwitchCons. While we won't be sharing...
Yeah, the whole, bring a buddy, and we're not going to background check them. We'll background check the person who brings the buddy, but the buddy doesn't get background checked. That's fucking retarded.
Sharing all security updates for privacy and safety reasons, we will keep our community informed about changes that directly impact attendees. All of this is basically nonsense, in my opinion.
Yep.
We have heard concerns about IRL streaming at TwitchCon. Twitch has evolved over the years, and IRL streaming is a part of Twitch. But we need to ensure that TwitchCon meets the needs of a variety of participants. We will be reviewing how we handle IRL streaming at TwitchCon, and we'll have more to share soon.
Probably you're going to have to get a permit to do IRL streaming. That's probably what's going to happen.
Likely they're going to ban IRL streaming at Twitch.
They're going to ban it, but they're going to allow certain people to do it who are able to pay for a permit.
TwitchCon, so you won't be able to locate a creator and zone in on where they are at, I guess.
Unless you pay. If you pay for it, then you can still.
I guess that's what that's
guaranteed.
Finally, we got a clear feedback on accessibility across the event. We're reviewing with our teams, including our production and venue staff, so that we're better equipped for future events. You put a lot of trust in us by attending TwitchCon, and we take our responsibility to keep your safety seriously.
Well, when did they do that? They take it seriously after the security issues happen.
We know that TwitchCon means a lot to people, and it means a lot to us, especially Dan Clancy, because that's when he's getting his freak on. Be on the lookout for more updates, and thanks for being a part of Twitch, Dan.
Yep, nothing about VTubers, nothing about all the VTubers being doxxed, nothing about the gifts being stolen and just thrown in the trash right in front of people. That's fucking... They create such bad vibes, such bad sentiment, where the security is just against the people that are there. Like, you should have just made it a thing that there were no gifts allowed beforehand. And they're still not talking about that, by the way. That's one of the biggest issues that they have. Because I was a stagehand, we had similar issues, but we would tell people before they'd get there, do not bring anything. No bags allowed, nothing like that. And if anybody brought anything in, then it was going to get disposed of before it even gets in the venue. But there were cracks. The security doesn't really pay attention to the cracks because the staff, they know where the cracks are and they take advantage. Even I did this. Even I've taken advantage of the gifts. I'm sorry, I'm saying it now. I have taken some gifts, but they were going to be disposed of anyway. They were going to be trashed anyway. And like the likelihood of them being dangerous was very low at the time. It's a higher likelihood now that there's something dangerous. But back when I was a stagehand, well, when did I do that? It was like the last one was 2018.
And Clancy. This statement literally was nothing. It was a nothing burger that contained nothing at all. It was basically like, hey, I'm sorry what happened to Amiru. We're going to make changes. That's pretty much the end of it.
Yep. Doesn't say what kind of changes. I don't like, of course, they're not going to say what security changes they're going to make, at least at the implementation level, but they still could have said something.
People have a lot of problems with Dan Clancy right now. The fact that Twitch or the board or Amazon or somebody hasn't lit that dude's ass on fire yet, figuratively speaking, is insane to me. Absolutely mind-boggling. It's almost as if they want Twitch to fail.
I wonder. I've been saying that this whole fucking time, and I think everybody's feeling that. I think they're taking funny money. I think people at the top are taking funny money. I think even Amazon's taking funny money. That's why they don't care, because they're like, shit, well, we can't do anything about Amazon, or we can't do anything about Twitch taking all this money from terrorist organizations because we do the same thing.
That's kind of the way I'm seeing it. It's almost like the people that are running Twitch right now have like stock in Google or something.
Or they have stock in terrorism, and that's why they were selling knives at the venue. You know, they want something to happen. They want violence to occur. It's like somebody's gotten in and they're trying to destroy American culture. And I say this constantly because, like, at every level of everything in culture, it's poisoned. Well, like, why is it like this literally fucking everywhere with all of the terrorism, like, terrorist apologists that are in gaming, that are in movies, at like even at the highest level? Democrats, basically a fucking terrorist organization at this point.
You know what I'm saying? And they want Twitch to fail. You know what I'm saying? Look at this right here. This guy says, sold working sharpened knives at TwitchCon.
Yep.
Banned Emuru's bodyguard from having security. Twitch staff laughed at Emuru getting sexually assaulted.
Yeah, these people are violent freaks. They want something to happen. They really do. They want something bad to happen to the people that they don't like, which are the top streamers.
Assaulter wandered around scot-free with no recourse except a Twitch suspension later after Emuru's team hounded them. Dan Clancy was out bar hopping, partying, and flirting with girls barely 20 years old while being 60 plus, aged, and married during this happening. Plus, those 20-year-old girls are all his employees. Keep that in mind. It's a very, very important thing to keep in mind. Dan Clancy interviewed by an ass-kissing propagandist and victim blamed Emuru for her sexual assault, saying she could have controlled her community a little better. Every year...
How do you do that? How do you control a community that's not even in your community? Like, these people, they're not in just your chat. They'll go into Hassan's chat, and if Hassan talks about Emuru, then they've got Emuru on their minds, and Hassan wants his audience to be violent. So, like, what do you do at that point? Can Emuru go into Hassan's chat and ban those people out of Hassan's chat? That's not how it fucking works.
Drinks are roofied because they allow alcohol to be sitting in public unprotected, including the VTubers drugged last year.
Yep.
They stole and threw away various gifts to VTubers. I hope you and your entire goon squad get fired and sued into hell for what you've done. Twitch needs to be entirely gutted as a company and completely restructured from the ground up by the CEO that doesn't perv out his employees as often as he does. I hope more streamers come out with insider stories exposing these degenerates. And I couldn't.
I think a lot of the top streamers that are like in the main Twitch circle are going to just defend Twitch all the way to the bottom.
Agree more.
Unless you got people who aren't loyal that are just saying things that to try and be popular, to try and be the top streamers. They're really trying to be an insider. Those people will probably come out against Twitch once they see that they're failing, so they can have an out.
Please. And you know it's coming. Like just watching how Dan Clancy acts while he's around these streamers, you know it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I do predict he's going to resign very soon, though. I just can't imagine, right? I just can't imagine that it could continue in this shape and form, right? But
I don't think it's going to help anything. I think probably whoever they replace Dan Clancy with is going to be a corporate freak. A lot of people have been talking about somebody that they want to be the CEO. Never goes like that. They never put in the person that we want. It's probably going to be somebody who is worse than Dan Clancy, but doesn't do all the weird e-girl stuff.
Yeah, everybody's telling him to resign. Resign, please resign for the love of all.
Yeah, basically the entire internet at this point.
That is wholly resign.
Yeah, I don't know how Twitch comes back from this, even if they do replace him and they do like do a restructuring. I don't think it's going to work. And if it's not going to be somebody that's going to be on the side of the people that are actually real, like Asmongold, like Nux, they're not going to allow Nux back. I don't think he did get banned. Yeah. They're not going to like Tectone. They're probably going to end up banning a lot of the right-wing people and then clamping down on the left-wing people who are violent, and it's going to make everybody leave. It's not going to be good, man. It's not going to be good. I could see the next CEO banning right-wingers. Is going to be an adamant leftist freak. Donate to the Fables Folly Farm. Like, why do people never listen to us? Why do people not listen to me? Because we predicted this was going to happen. We predicted exactly that this was going to happen, that hundreds of thousands of people are going to be out of the job, that Amazon was going to start firing people because they're replacing people with robots. We could see it coming whenever they had those robots moving around the warehouse and people were getting run over. Remember that? Yeah, they're replacing everybody with AI and robots. And Amazon fires 600,000 after woke minimum wages backfire. This is only the beginning, right? Dude, millions upon millions of people are going to be out of the job. We're going to see more and more of this from giant corporations coming very, very soon within the year. Not 2025. It's going to be like 2026. It's going to be real bad. It's going to be real, real bad. A bunch of people who are low-skilled workers are going to be out of the job because they're easily replaceable. And there's so many of them. I think actually the future is going to be based on how we entertain each other. That is where our money is going to be going. That's who's going to get the money. It's going to be everybody who is entertaining. That's kind of already where it is and how it's going. People who do social media, they're getting money. People who aren't doing social media, they're struggling hardcore.
This story is particularly important to me because it is a gigantic, massive, I told you so, to the woke policies of the California government and Oregon and many of these idiots like Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah, even Bernie Sanders is starting to flip a little bit. He was saying that all of Trump's measures for the border is really good, actually.
That's
crazy.
They said, hey, everyone needs to have a $30 minimum wage. We need a $30 minimum wage. Now, just so we're clear.
Dude, like, and it's not even to make up for inflation. They went way over the amount that they needed to. $30 minimum wage is fucking insane.
If you are somebody who benefited from the $30 minimum wage, stack your cash, king and or queen, I don't blame you for taking it. You didn't vote on that, so why wouldn't you get the money? I have no problem with that. The problem is when you mandate an excessively high minimum wage, you get exactly what we all knew was going to happen. When they did this to the fast food industry, what happened?
Oh man, it's going to get much worse for the fast food industry. I haven't even noticed it because I'm kind of in the South, in the Midwest. That's like my area, this whole South, and then the Midwest. And we're not really seeing much of it, but it's going to get a lot worse. We're going to start seeing it here.
Workers were replaced by robots or kiosks. When they did this to the hospitality industry, everyone saw that dystopian video where you check in and check out on a Zoom call with some Indian guy. Okay. Everybody saw what was going to happen. And this latest move is perhaps the biggest, most brutal, destructive swath as a result of massive increasing labor costs. And we're going to get into all that after a super quick word from this video sponsor. Shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access.
Oh,
Look,
PIA.
Using a VPN
okay.
Device shut down for half.
I'd rather just make my own VPN.
Based on where you're located, time, wait, limited, and amount available.
I don't trust VPNs.
Is Amazon
to
replace 600,000 United States workers with robots.
For now.
Amid tech industry bloodbath.
Yep. For now. There's going to be a lot more.
600,000 jobs will be replaced by robots. How's that $30 minimum wage working out for you now? This is exactly what happened with McDonald's, what happened with the hospitality industry.
Yeah, the report from New York Times suggests Amazon are trying to soften the blow by rebranding AI and dude, this is what they do all the time. Like, this is what the left does. Even the right does it a lot. But, like, this is what the left does, where they change the name of things so it doesn't sound as bad. Like, the bill for puppies and kittens, and it has nothing to do with puppies and kittens. Trying to soften the blow by rebranding AI and robots as advanced technology. Like, it's gonna make everything better for everybody. And not just make everything better for the corporation and the people who run them. But eventually, dude, if they keep growing and growing and growing, and people keep failing and failing and failing, eventually the rich get richer and the poor get poorer is going to be unsustainable. And everything's going to collapse. Because you have to have people at the bottom who are paying for the things to keep the people at the top running. And if people at the bottom can't pay for things, then everything's fucked. We're back to the dark ages.
Now,
maybe worse.
Here's the thing. How many of those are U.S. workers? How many of them are illegal immigrants? That's a fair question to ask. Probably 20% of them, maybe 30% of them.
True.
But look, I want to also be clear. Corporations are going to corporation. And they were always going to try and replace humans with robots as soon as it became financially viable.
I actually called this back in high school. Over a decade ago, man. I was seeing it whenever people were starting to talk about, like, when they were starting to talk about AI being a thing, I was like, well, here comes the dystopian future where AI is going to be the overlords. They're going to control everything, because I was a sci-fi nerd. I've always been a sci-fi nerd. And we've gone beyond sci-fi at this point.
In fact, my dad and mom were in manufacturing their whole life. And basically the places where they work, like when my dad retired, he worked at a place called Wacker Corporation, LOL. But they made like ground pounders and steamrollers and jackhammers. They had military contracts, all this kind of stuff. I remember going to company picnics where there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people there. That's just at the company picnic. I'm sure not all the employees show up at the company picnic. By the time my dad retired, there's about 7 people working in the factory. They probably just couldn't fire my dad because they had a union and he had been around for 40 years. Robots have been replacing humans, whether it's automation or they're big robots, or now we're talking about these humanoid robots, all that kind of stuff. This isn't necessarily new, but when you artificially inflate the wages for people, right, it just creates more incentive to replace them with technology.
Yeah, and what's going to happen also, the people at the very top, they're going to be fine because they don't do anything. They're out on a yacht. They're basically just raking in cash. But the people just under them, they get paid too much. So they're going to be replaced with robots. The people at the bottom are going to be replaced with robots, and the people in the middle are going to be fine for a little while until they get replaced with robots.
This comes amid a bloodbath in the tech industry, with tens of thousands of workers losing their jobs. Company bosses say that automation would allow the company to sell twice as many products. Yeah, but who's going to buy your products? Who's going to buy your products when everybody's out of work? This is the question that nobody's ever been answered. Like,
well, they're not thinking about that. It's all about now, 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 now. They never look for the future. They never look to see what everything's going to look like in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years. It's all about bottom line now, because all that matters is the next fiscal quarter for the investors.
No, but who's going to buy your product when everybody in manufacturing has been fired?
You're not allowed to ask that question.
Everybody can't have a service company. Everybody can't be a social media influencer. Everybody can't make YouTube videos, because at the end of the day, the people buying ads on the videos.
I disagree. I think that everybody will be a social media influencer, and the people who aren't good at it, well, the people who can't be good at it, because there's going to be a lot of people that aren't good at it that still get famous, that still are able to rake in the cash. I think this is how we're going to have UBI. I think we're going to be based on entertaining each other, at least for a little while, until they start getting rid of the people who they don't like, and then those people aren't going to be allowed to entertain anybody, and those people will basically starve to death.
Need somebody on their side of the video who has a job, who can pay, right? Who can pay them so that they can buy the things that are being advertised. As part of the effort, would see an attempt to rebrand the technology, calling it advanced technology or cobots instead of AI or robots. This is exactly what I was talking about with AI. This is going to have a catastrophic impact on the United States job market.
Has anybody seen Electric Dreams? There's an episode where there's just like a village of people, and there's an auto fac that's just making products and shitting them out for nobody. Like, nobody even is there to use the products. And turns out all of those people were robots. That's not really a spoiler. I mean, you kind of find out pretty much immediately that's what that whole episode's about. Highly recommend you watch that show. It's like an anthology series like Black Mirror, but I like it more than Black Mirror because it's based on Asimov. Is it Asimov? Yeah, I think it is.
And it's going to start with high-paying Americans first, right? That's the thing. They know that it's bad. That's why they're replacing. That's why they're rebranding it. Oh, they're not robots. They're cobots. They work with us. Do they? There's one dude who makes $250,000 a year to repair the robots.
There was a billboard that I saw that said, "Stop hiring humans." You can look it up. That's some dystopian shit, man.
And that's the only person that works in these factories by the end of in the next 10 years. Amazon has been pouring money into AI in recent years, including $100 billion focused on expanding cloud and AI data centers. Recent profits have been attributed to AI within the company. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy claimed that millions of customers use Amazon Shopping Agent and expansion of the Alexa Plus and the launch of AI programs like Deep Fleet. Now, I don't use any of this stuff. I will occasionally use Grok as a search engine, but I don't have this stuff in my house. Now I know you can't buy.
The only thing that I use AI for is for my YouTube video descriptions, and I rarely even use that now because I'd rather just come up with my own because they work better. I think the algorithm kind of knows when you do that.
Cell phone without this crap enabled. Well, that's why I have a Google Pixel with graphene on it, and why I got used to that, because
I need to do that. I need to put graphene on my phone. But I don't know, man. Android is launching a bunch of Linux apps, or Linux is launching a bunch of Android apps. Whatever.
I want to do my little part to not make these AI companies so profitable that they get to replace millions and millions and millions of Americans. The suggested move comes amid wider layoffs in the tech industry. More than 150,000 tech workers lost their jobs in 2024, and another 22,000 have lost them this year. Do you want to know who they lost them to? It isn't all AI, right? It isn't all AI. It's H-1Bs.
Yep.
I really hope.
And also illegal immigrants, because that's just straight up the cheapest labor that you can get with actual humans. And they want slave labor. They wouldn't pay anybody at all if they didn't have to.
That Trump stays committed to taxing H-1B programs. We are importing low.
Unfortunately, Trump loves all the AI stuff because all the billionaires keep convincing him that AI is good. And he loves billionaires.
IQ, the average IQ in India is 75. The average IQ of a white person, who's all these people are replacing, let's be honest, in America is over 100. But they were telling us, well, we can't. Well, I mean, geez, we need to bring in all these Indian people because Americans just won't do these jobs.
No, you mean they don't want to pay Americans enough to do these jobs. Because you can't pay somebody who is worth more than what you're paying them and expect that to go well.
This news comes after some of the world's biggest apps suddenly stopped working on Monday as the Amazon Web Services went down and took a large portion of the internet with it. Apps including Snapchat, Reddit, Fortnite, Roblox.
By the way, called it. I called it. I think a lot of people called it, but it's so easy to see these patterns, man. Guess what? Guess what? It's going to get worse. It's going to get so much worse. This was a test. They were testing.
Roblox, Canva, Duolingo, Rind, Doorbell, McDonald's, and all more all began experiencing problems around 3 a.m. Why? Well, because...
Yeah, this is what we called all of this whenever they started making everything online. They made schools online. Everything at schools are online. Airports, police stations. Like, what do you do when all those systems go down? There was a South Park episode about it, and basically the United States turned into an apocalyptic wasteland.
Amazon controls the vast majority of the cloud space that these companies use. It all started with getting rid of physical hard drives, right? So you get rid of physical hard drives, and now you have to use the cloud. Even the new version of, I think it's a new version of Windows, or is it the new version of Office? Like, by default, makes you use OneDrive. They're garbage cloud service. Why on earth do I need to save?
Yeah, I don't save anything to the cloud except for my own cloud. I have my own cloud. I guess wouldn't really be a cloud, but it sits on my desk if you want to say that I got a cloud in my office. But the only thing that I would use an online cloud for is to move files. Like, if I want to send somebody a file, I'm just going to put it in my cloud and have them pull it out of my cloud. But now I have my own cloud, so I don't even have to do that. Because if the internet goes down, it still works. You just got to connect to my cloud.
A Word document to the cloud when I have 100 terabytes of hard drive space. It's so crazy. Like, everyone saw this. Now they can read it. Now they can make you dependent on their cloud service. I don't need cloud storage. I have enough storage on a thumb drive to store every file I'll ever need.
True.
Hours later, of course, down to tech.
The only thing that I use my PC for is to have enough storage to record this video that I'm doing and also install games. That's the only thing that I need this storage for.
We received more than 6.5 million reports globally, with the outage affecting 1,000 companies. Well, what do we think this is going to be? Experts warn of a crisis larger than the Great Recession growing inside of, quote, Donald Trump's economy.
By the way, you can't even get into cars to fix them now because they're online even. They're all wrapped up. You're not allowed to touch it, and it'll shut down. A lot of them will shut down if you try to get into the system. And what happens, man, when everything's like that, and then you have an attack like AWS going down happen, then the entire world stops. And I kind of think that's what they want. I think they want to build all this stuff so they can shut it down all at once and everything be fucking destroyed.
This isn't a Donald Trump problem. This is a tech industry problem that got out in front of any kind of regulation, and gasoline got poured on the fire because of minimum wage increases. There's a lot of people who can't afford, or there are a lot of companies that couldn't afford, right? That couldn't afford to replace employees with robots. But now they're like, oh yeah, this is great. Now an average laborer is gonna cost me $70,000 a year plus insurance.
They're literally creating Black Mirror. That's what's happening here, man.
I guess I can't afford them with a Tesla robot.
This is gonna be dystopian.
Everybody's, it's again lessons from Washington D.C. Why $30 by 30 wage plan could leave servers with less. They're saying $30 minimum wage by 2030. This is in New York. By the way, progressive cities around America have pushed their minimum wage rates to unprecedented highs, with many now creeping north of $20 an hour. Many are going even further, however, by eliminating the tipped wage system for restaurants and hospitality sector employees. These rules allow restaurant owners to pay servers and bartenders below the minimum wage as long as employees can make up the gap in tips. By the way, I'm 100% fine with that going away.
Yep.
I am 110% fine with the tip wage loophole, poop hole loophole going away. I'm 100% fine with it. LA Council backs $30 minimum wage for hotels despite warnings. I mean, have you seen the price of hotels lately?
No.
Do you think people want to pay?
I'd rather just, sleep in a van, sleep in a tent in the woods. I don't go to cities or nothing, so.
$300 a night for a Holiday Inn Express? No, they don't. Airbnb ruined it with their ridiculous fees. And now you have, massive layoffs. How many of these 600,000 people, by the way, are going to be replaced by, Indians? They're not getting rid of their H-1Bs that they have on slave labor contracts. They're firing American citizens. By the way, Amazon announced in June that it hit its workforce milestone of deploying more than 1 million robots in its fulfillment and delivery network, making it about 2/3 the size of the company's human workforce. The Amazon document showed that the company's goal is to
it's gonna overtake the amount of humans in every single industry at every corporation. And I think we're about to start making video games and movies using robots. I don't even think human hands are going to touch it. And I think it's going to be at the point where, people don't even care. They'll watch the robot stuff because that's all there is. And they'll probably pretend to enjoy it, pretend that it's good, until it just completely goes away and we have nothing, or we're all dead.
Automate 75% of its operations. Again, I'm not saying automation's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying this is what's coming. Amazon is the third largest employer in the entire United States behind the federal government and Walmart. To date, the company employs 1.5 million employees, most of whom work in warehouse or as delivery drivers. Well, who are these robots going to replace? Them.
Dude, I think we're getting real close to the end times. All the people talking about it in years past, it was always natural disasters that were happening, or we were going to blow ourselves up with nuclear bombs. I think we're literally going to technology ourselves out of existence.
Right? That's who they're going to replace. Only a handful of companies in the United States have more than 600,000 employees on their payroll. Delivery company FedEx has an estimated 550,000. Reducing its size, reported by the Times, would be akin to FedEx disappearing completely. Studies have been done to show the impact of robots on human wages. As of 2020, every robot...
You know what we're going to get pretty soon? We're going to start getting to the point where we're automating war robots. We're going to have factories building war robots. And you know what that's going to end up leading to when you mix that with AI? And there's a lot of demonic shit working in the AI. I'm not saying AI is inherently demonic. I'm saying that demonic shit gets into the AI. And even if you're not a spiritual person, religious person, whatever, you cannot deny that this is where this fucking leads. Where you're using AI to make war robots. and then some crazy evil shit gets in there, you already see it. You already see it. Remember when Grok for a day just went Mecha Hitler mode? Remember that? That's all it takes is one day to fuck everything up.
Added by a company per 1,000 workers reduces wages by 0.42% and costs humans an estimated 400,000 jobs.
What's going to happen whenever the war robot machine that's creating war robots goes crazy and starts making demonic robot AI monsters that just eats everything that it touches and turns it into a bigger AI demonic monster? And you think I'm joking, you think I'm exaggerating, but like, think about it, man. That's where this shit fucking leads. Especially if the world goes to war again. Imagine a world war with AI. That's insane. That is so insane. Especially if it ramps up really, really quickly. Like, I think we've only got a few years out before that starts to happen. Who knows? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe the world doesn't end. Maybe it doesn't get that bad in my lifetime, in your lifetime. But I don't think it's going to be long. I don't think we make it to 2100, honestly.
400,000 jobs. It's going to start with Silicon Valley. It's going to start with service industry, programming, development,
military.
And this was always going to be the future. But now, with, by cramming up minimum wages everywhere, you're just ushering it in 5 years early. So I hope that having a $30 minimum wage gets you a lot of votes, but they're not going to have any jobs. That's the net of this. It's scary.
I think it's going to be worse than the Terminator future. What they thought that Terminator was going to be like in Terminator 1, 2, and 3. I think it's going to be way worse than that, because we're not going to have like exoskeleton robots walking around killing everybody. It's going to be weird shit. It's going to be weird robots. Like, you couldn't even tell it's a robot. You look at it and you're like, that thing doesn't make sense when I look at it. And it's going to be destroying everything. Let's talk about what Ludwig just said, because it was absolutely insane, dude, because he came out against Hassan and then he backtracked. We thought that we were going to get rid of his Jellywig nickname, but apparently not. Apparently he's Jellywig 2.0.
What's going on, boys? Welcome back to another video. Just finished watching the Chainsaw Man movie. Absolutely fantastic. 9.
That's what I was hearing.
If you haven't seen it, go watch it immediately. Yep. Today's video is going to be on everybody's old favorite streamer that now we probably don't give a fuck about anymore.
Yep.
Ludwig. And I hate saying that
Yep,
shit.
I'm just sick of these people, dude. I am sick of these shills that just are trying to stay popular, trying to stay in the limelight, trying to have the popular take so they can keep making money, so they can be celebrities.
Because Ludwig used to be one of my favorite content creators. He was definitely up there. Yeah, really funny.
I say this all the time. I think that everything is simultaneously going to be the best and worst times ever, and we're going to see who is who. And it's splitting apart even more, and it's like obvious who's good and obvious who's bad. There are some people in the middle right now, but I think it's going to get worse. I think it's going to get worse. We're going to see who really is good and really is bad. Because right now we're judging people off of Collargate, whoever's for Hassan, against Hassan, and it just this one area in the internet culture. But everybody's attached to it, man. I think it's going to keep getting worse like this, and there's going to be obvious liars, and there's going to be obvious truthers.
Just a good, chill dude, but man, I kind of regret how much I broke out into the mainstream streamer circle. I kind of wish I always stayed like an obscure streamer, because, man, the more I find out about like the inner workings of streamers and
yeah, I'm actually really kind of afraid of that. I want to be a little bit more popular, but I want it to like cap off at a certain point. Like, I'd be cool with 200,000 subs and then I can die happy. You know what I mean?
Inner workings of every clique. It's just a scum fuck cesspool of fake motherfuckers. And, maybe it's fucked up for me to wish that I just still lived in delusion. But I mean, like all of y'all, I was just a viewer once, and then now, man, There's so many people that just suck ass. It's insane. There are so many people who are just willing.
Yeah, I'm glad that nobody knows about me right now. I kind of hope that it stays that way where nobody knows about me. It's starting to happen. I'm starting to get noticed a little bit. There's a few streamers, at least I like the streamers that are noticing me, but like there's a few of them are starting to notice me and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling kind of an uptick in people knowing who I am, and I've got actual fans that stick around in the comments, and I've got fans on other platforms that engage with my content. And it's starting to get real weird. It's starting to get real weird. People are getting a little parasocial. Not talking about my fans. I'm talking about a lot of people that keep commenting like hate stuff, like people who hate me. I'm noticing there are people that keep coming back to leave hate comments. And I'm starting to get to the point where maybe I should block them, but I don't like blocking people. I actually had to block a few people on Facebook because they were just leaving disgusting, vile shit in my comments.
Lie to get 5 extra viewers. It's just like, good Lord. I mean, how pathetic do these people get? It's honestly like quite depressing. Oh well, I'll just have sex later and I'll feel better. Normally when I make one of these videos, I'm always looking, I wonder if they're going to respond. I wonder if they're going to watch it. I wonder if they're going to comment. I wonder if they're going to tweet. Because, I always love the old back and forths. They're fun. I love it. Get into these little debacles where I understand that I deeply get underneath these people's skins. And the reason why is because I'm an easy dunk. And the reason why I'm an easy dunk is because enough people have pretended that factually incorrect information is truthful, as well as many of the popular streaming gossip sites where astroturfed or negative agendas were pushed by very large streamers at the time. But that's okay. Their career will soon come to an end, I'm sure.
Dude, I'm so glad that I'm just a boring motherfucker who just has always stayed in and played video games, and the only thing that people could really cancel me for are things that I said, not things that people are accusing me of. Because you look back in my life, other than like, I guess maybe when I was like in high school, I was going to parties and drinking, but all of the people that were at those parties knew that that was what I was there for. I was just a party and a drink. I wasn't trying to sleep with girls. I wasn't trying to do nothing. I just wanted to have fun and everybody look at me. I'm a fucking idiot. Maybe when I was pissing in sinks, that was a weird time. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny to piss in sinks. Nobody ever actually saw me pissing in the sink. They saw me from my back turned toward them and me laughing. That was about as worse it got.
Sure, well, I will remain, as I am a very constant in this community, 7 years strong, going through worse shit than everybody else, and I do it with a smile. It's great. But Ludwig has gone on record saying that he would sooner kill himself than watch one of my videos. So, Ludwig, if you ever respond to my videos, that means you watched it, which means you know what you got to do next. Anyways, don't do that. I don't want any streamer to ever hurt themselves. I just want to make sure that's very clear in case you're in a dark spot. And that includes you too, Hassan. I don't ever
You're not allowed to have dark humor, Tectone. Canceled!
want any harm to come to you. I don't want any harm to come to any streamer. However, I would love for people to lose, their otherwise good rep by being exposed as the pieces of shit you are. Can't believe Hassan is moving away from Collargate by just lying enough and getting enough of his friends to lie enough, which is where we are today. Ludwig was pretty critical of you only one time, actually, which is why I don't understand why you're so upset. Ludwig, we were pretty good. You invited me to your Fortnite tournament, and you were kind of gassing me up quite a bit. And then I'm slightly critical of you enabling an alcoholic to near levels of where a man almost died, as well as many women were being...
That's kind of where all of this started, man. It like was all... I mean, it was bad, and then that happened. The Ludwig situation happened with, what was his name, Mango? Whenever he basically gave that guy alcohol poisoning, and he freaked out and did a bunch of weird stuff. And then everybody was defending Ludwig. That's where it really, really started to show, like, who people truly were online.
Being sexually harassed. And you got upset at me for what? Being a good person? Do you want me to lie? Do you want me to lie for my friends? Do you want me to cover up for my friends? Just don't do that. I will always be.
That's called disloyalty, Tectone. No, that's called being an actual human. Like, I'm gonna call out my friends whenever they do bad shit.
Straight shooter, always. I've called out Asmongold.
Yep.
And, I don't really think I need to go any further than that, because that's pretty much the only person that people consistently use my name in the same sentence with, so there's not really going to be a name that tops that. But yeah, I've called out Asmon many, many, many times when he is fucked up, and I will continue to do so, because that is what people do. Especially people with consciences, especially people who try to be good friends, because you will be even more critical of the people you care about, because you want them to grow and succeed as people. Unlike other people where they say, I was this guy's friend once, and now I'm just trying to help him, and then just say a whole bunch of lies, which is just very productive. Ludwig. I don't know how every time, because I root for you, Ludwig, I really do. I don't understand how every time you finally score a W, very rare these days, very rare W.
Because he's paying attention to his brain-cooked chat. That's all he really cares about is his chat. His chat really got him, man, and it's Hassan's chat that really got him. That's who he listens to and who he will lie for to make them feel better. All the rest of us who just want truth and good vibes and awesomeness, we don't matter. It's just about his chat. He is so fucking cooked. It's a cult.
You like, Jesus, like astronomically low odds of actually scoring a W, but you somehow managed to do it. You escaped from the collar of Hassan. By the way, if you watch this year's Streamer Awards, I won't be nominated for anything because I don't stream. But also, I guarantee you, dude, last year there was like 3 jokes about me from people who I don't even know. So I always find it funny when people say they have no idea who I am, yet almost every single streamer talks about me. It's kind of insane.
I'm not a streamer yet. I started streaming, but I will be streaming. And I will be talking about Tectone a lot. Because I fucking love this man.
So, anyways.
I could only dream to be as bald as this guy.
Ludwig scores a W and finally tells the fucking truth.
Kind of. It was like a half W. It was enough for us to drop the Jellywig nickname for a day.
Good for him. Love that shit. And he says that he is 100% positive that that collar is a shot collar because he's seen what's been posted on the internet. He's seen what we have all seen. He used his eyeballs and he said, wait a minute, these things fucking work.
I want to point out something. Hold on. This was cool. This was badass. It was a total W for XQC. XQC, Ludwig, my brother, we've been through this. The device 100% has the shocking component. Hold me accountable. If you link me the same device and show me a single identical model that does not have the function, I will give your community a full Bitcoin. Over $100,000. Use it for good. And then he goes on to say, man, I hate to care this much, but if you were going to denigrate the debunker brand, you got to disprove it. The whole point of the segment is investigating anything on the internet and debunking it. It's worth nothing if all you got to say is wrong. Prove it. Okay, this post is 42 minutes old and not a single human spent the 5 minutes it takes to click a link and paste it in the comments for the people that are right to get free money. I'm going live for like 20 hours instead. Bye. You can still link it though. This person, you couldn't defend yourself when you came into my replies. Now Ludwig's exposing you by having knowledge that you wish you could get. Yeah, Ludwig has secret knowledge that he's not going to show anybody else. Brother, I boiled you so bad you had to make a Hitler comparison, deleted it, then hid like a coward. Oh boy. Was there more? Did he keep going? Nope. The tweet's not even deleted, and once again, you're dodging my question about the 50K you said you would donate. He donated it, did he not? Did he not donate it? Okay, whatever.
A lot of things that, for some reason, a lot of people in LA don't seem to have as functioning eyes, even when Sasha Grey herself doesn't even...
No, they got functioning eyes. They just don't have functioning brains. Because they don't trust their lying eyes.
Have a functioning ears or a functioning brain because...
Yeah, there we go.
When she was quite literally told by QT that it was a shock collar, she goes, oh my, I don't want to see that. And it's just kind of pathetic. But Ludwig, you called Hassan out. And you said that is 100% shot caller, a thing that everybody on Earth knows. You lasted maybe 13 hours. Maybe 13 hours.
I wonder what happened.
And you completely...
I know exactly what happened. He became under attack by Hassan's fans, and he was probably told by some PR team that he's tied to, that they're all tied to. They all work together. They all are like co-workers, and they all have the same teams. And they work basically right under Dan Clancy. And I bet somebody in that circle was like, Ludwig, you got to make this right for us. You're destroying this. You're destroying us, and you are one of the fires that's burning us down, man. You got to put yourself out. So he did. So they can stay on top. How long? How long is it going to take before the ladder gets kicked out from under you and you're stuck on the roof and you got no way down? I think that might already be where they're at. They're stuck on the roof. They can't get down. They have to stay at the top, and people are throwing rocks at them, and they got nowhere to go. They're going to have to jump off that roof. Metaphorically, obviously. Damn, dude, people take shit way too seriously.
Folded on yourself, you absolute spineless coward. And then you have these people in your audience that I know get under your skin. I know what makes you so mad, because I know what makes streamers mad, and I know you are uncomfortable. You wanna know why? Because you were calling these people who said, uh-oh, gonna get the call from Hassan, and you're like, you guys are so pathetic. And you wanna know why you got so upset? It's because you know they're right. And you know that you are horrified of that man, and you are horrified of that community. A community that I've been dealing with.
Yeah, especially since it's getting worse. It's getting so much worse, and like, he probably knows, like, hey, this is getting worse, so I'm gonna try and stay out of all of this, at least because I know that everybody else's community is not going to be doing all this kind of shit because they haven't really before. And as soon as you go against Hassan, his entire community comes after you, says the most vile shit.
For well over a year now. And yes, there's a lot of people, and yes, they will make your life a lot harder than you might.
Yeah, here's some advice. He's never going to see this. Either don't listen to them, ignore them, or make fun of them. Don't get mad and say, oh, you people are pathetic. Like, that's how you get them to come back all the time and say worse shit, because they're trying to get a rise out of you. They actually don't care. They really don't. They just want chaos and people to be hurt. They're evil, vile, disgusting people. And I see these people all the time. As a small creator, that's most of the engagement that I get. Because regular people, they don't really comment. They just watch and then they leave. They might leave a like, they usually don't comment. But people who are hate watching, they always leave a comment.
Desire. But people like you aren't like people like me, where you will do what is necessary. You will tell the truth, even at a detriment to your own well-being. I'm going to glaze myself a little bit, but you have to understand how easy of a position I was at. I was connected with so many streamers, and, you know, a lot of people like to call me a social chameleon. A lot of people say I have no principles. A lot of people say I stand for nothing. These are what the haters say. Yet, do you understand how easy it would have been to go to all these streamers and stroke their ego? Like, I know they want me to, and say, oh my God, you're the best. Oh my God, I love being on stream. Brother, I literally went on Ms. Kiff's stream during Camp Canoe, not once, not twice, but 3 different times, and told him that his community sucks fucking ass and that nobody wants to fucking be here. When all I had to do was just smile and say, let's go, Mizzy Wizzy. More viewers. I know how streamers work. It's not easy. They're all simple-minded. You just glaze the fuck out of them and you say, yes, very cool, very good. I really like this.
Yeah, it's like, remember when you had the NPC streamers that are like, good, good, yes, yes. It's that kind of shit. It's that kind of vibe. It's all fake.
You're collabing nonstop. And then you donate to charity. That's all you got to do. Just be nice to everybody, say you're the best to everybody, and donate money to charity. Congratulations. Your viewers...
You don't just donate to charity, because it's good to donate to charity, in my opinion, but you have to let everybody know. That's what these streamers... They got to let everybody know how good of a person they are by donating all this money to charity. I think it's better to donate silently. Tell nobody. It's between you and the Lord and the charity that you're donating to. And that's it. And maybe somebody will come out later and be like, he hasn't said anything about it, but I'm going to go ahead and say this guy has donated so much money and he doesn't want anybody to find out. It's crazy. Such a good guy. That's really what you want. That's what you really want to have. But these people are so simple-minded. They're all in it for the moment, and they're not donating because they want good things to happen. They're donating so they can feel good, and then they can show everybody how good of a person they are.
This will start skyrocketing because, dude, it pays dividends to be a fake-ass, dick-sucking yes man in this community. And it's pathetic. And I refuse to be that shit. Absolutely not. But not you, Ludwig. You felt 1% of Hassan community's anger, and you folded like a fucking omelet, brother. You folded like an omelet. And you sat there like NMP with his little soy hands. And he went, well, guys, you know, upon further consideration, I had a call with Hassan, and maybe I should have said 99% because, well, I just don't think it's actually a shot caller after all. Brother, are you now telling your community to doubt their eyes as well? Jesus fucking Christ.
And it's not even about the collar gate. What about all of the terrorism sympathizing? And what about all of the actual terrorism support and calls for violence? No, we're just going to look over all of that? No, we're going to talk about Collargate. It's all a ruse. It's all just to get you to not look at what actually is going on. That everybody's exchanging money. They're all a bunch of sex freaks. They're all evil. They're all glazers. They glaze each other. They defend each other even for the most vile shit, unless it's just like something that everybody knows about that's indefensible, which it's getting to the point where they don't even care about that.
Got duped, or you're spineless, or you're an idiot. Pick one. I mean, good God. Good fucking God. The more and more things are developing, guys, I want you to know that if you are a part of the people who watch my videos, do you guys understand my frustration? Do you guys understand my hatred? How is everybody such a fake ass bitch? It is fucking insane. It is pure fucking insanity how people will experience 1% of backlash and fold like a bitch on their ideals. And
well, actually, they don't have any ideals. That's the whole point in the first place. If they had ideals, then they wouldn't fold on them. If you fold on your ideals, you didn't have ideals in the first place.
There's so many of these people from LA. It's insane. I'm not going to tell you Austin's better, because it sure as fuck isn't. Jesus Christ. I mean, holy fuck.
I think the best people are random people like me. I'm not saying that I'm the best people. I'm saying that people like me who are this small or maybe bigger, maybe smaller. Those are the best kind of people who are just like doing stuff because they think it's fun. They're not doing stuff because they're trying to make money. Because I don't give a shit. If I don't get any views, which happens all the time, where I get absolutely 0 views on videos, I don't give a shit. Like, I just do this for fun. And if I get paid, fuck yeah, awesome. If I was like getting no money at all, I'd probably still be doing it, because this was my dream, to make content like this. My dream was not to be successful at it. My dream was to just do it.
It is insane.
When I was a kid, I wrote a book, and I didn't show it to anybody. I still have it. I'm not showing it to anybody because it's for me.
It's like these streamers, they never had to struggle a single moment in their entire fucking life. And they know
right?
if they ever fall off, they are fucked forever. So they are willing to suck any dick they possibly can and bend the knee at anything if it means self-preservation. Self-preservation is the name of the game. That's it. That's all they care about. That's all they've ever cared about. And I think that's pathetic.
Yeah, and we all came from dust. We all are dust. And to dust we will return.
I do. A man who stands for nothing falls for everything. And I really think that people are starting to wake up. I really, really, really do. I hope that shit was worth it, Lud. Because now people see you for who you are. You are just a guy who is just gonna say what everybody wants to hear. And if anybody gives you any backlash, you're gonna fold immediately. Just like Valkyrie. Valkyrie fucking apologized for merely talking to Asmongold. What the fuck is that? Jesus.
Yeah, it's called being in a Hollywood cult.
I mean, holy crap. Did I look like a pussy when I drank out of that straw? I always feel like I look like a pussy when I drink out of that straw. I look bald today too. I just looked in the camera. Weird. Anyways, got this new water. Tastes really fucking good. It's like clean. I don't know. It feels good. I'm trying to get off soda, but it's hard. You know, Lud would have made a good point. This was a quick W for you, Lud. You did farm some based off of this. I even snapped a couple times and said, yes, queen. When you said that you aren't going to talk to 95% of these streamers and you wouldn't even go to Hassan's funeral if he fucking died. And I think that's pretty based. Good for you. I'm glad you at least acknowledge that all of your relationships are fake.
Yeah, but that's not going to prevent him from having them.
Really waste my time with too many fake relationships. I don't really waste my time making streamer friends.
Yeah, that's kind of why I don't make content with other people, because fuck them, and everybody stabs me in the back eventually. All I care about is the family that's got me, even when I'm laying in the dirt, kicking and screaming, like wanting somebody to pick me up and help me, and they finally did. And like, they don't care if I'm a garbage person. They don't care if I'm poor. They don't care if I'm destroying myself. I mean, they do. That's why they brought me in, so they could help me. As soon as you do something wrong in this community that's wrong to them, you're out. I do wrong by my family a lot, all the time, man, and they do wrong to me. That's just how it is. But I'm going to call it out to them, and we're going to work on fixing it, and they call it out to me, and we're going to work on fixing it.
I don't. I do try to, actually, if there's a reoccurring character on my stream, or I'm collabing with someone quite frequently, it's due to the fact that I really enjoy their presence. But every day I learn that's not how you get ahead in this world at all.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck the world. Fuck the world! I do not care. I am in this world, not of it.
That's not how you make it as a big-time streamer. And that's why I know I'll never get big.
Same here, and I don't give a shit.
Ever.
Let's go all the way to the fucking ground.
Video on that. I understand I will never be a large content creator. Because
yeah, I hope that I'm never a large content creator, dude. Like, I really don't.
The problem is that this shit is way too real to me. to quote every black woman ever, I'm a real ass bitch in this fake ass world.
Yeah, I just want to be in the woods. I'm gonna be that guy in the woods, and hopefully people don't cut down the woods and I'm just standing out in the middle of a field and they find me and then they can see me. I don't want that. I want people to join me in the woods. And just a few of them. I just want a small community, man. I don't want no giant community.
I need to go get some food stamps. I say what I mean what I say, and every day I learn that is not how you get ahead in this world. Be fake as fuck, befriend everyone, stand for nothing, just be a fucking dick-sucking yes man. That's it. There's a lot to think about. I remember when YouTube first started, it really felt like it really was about meeting all these people and who they were. But now, more and more often, these videos just feel like people trying to convince you of this image that they aren't, and they really want you to convince you that they're who you're going to watch and not just letting it happen.
Yep. Dude, I miss the AVGN days, man. Angry Video Game Nerd days. I've been watching a lot of his content here recently. Angry Video Game Nerd is a character, and he's a garbage person. Angry Video Game Nerd is a shitty person. James Rolfe, the guy who plays Angry Video Game Nerd, he's great. I love that guy. One of my favorite creators. I love it when he's just James Rolfe also. And he's obviously not the Angry Video Game Nerd whenever he is James Rolfe. And it used to be like that, and a lot of people used to copy that and be like, I want to be the Angry Video Game Nerd with my own style, and I'm going to play a character, but slightly different. And it was like that energy. And now everybody's trying to just 1000% all the time be playing a character that's fake as fuck, and it becomes them. And they're all brands. Everything's a brand.
Everything's so corporate, everything's so fucking fake, and it's just disgusting. And then even worse, you know what? I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
No, you should.
I'm so like fourth wall immersion break. I'm sure there's like some ugly fuck reacting to this video right now being like, what the fuck?
Okay. Thought he was talking about me.
What is this guy even saying? I was trying to do a Russian accent, but that probably wasn't too good. I don't know why. I just assumed the guy would be Russian. And then saying some shit like, projection much? So.
Yep, that's what I'm going to probably see in my comments. And the people who made it to the end of this video are going to see those people and make fun of them. Because those people never watch the actual video. They click, and then they comment, and they dislike, and they leave, thinking that that's going to do something. That all that does is increase my engagement. Like, YouTube does not actually care that much about watch time anymore. Now they care about engagement. Now they care about the comments and the likes and the dislikes. And yes, dislikes do count. They don't just stop your video. If you get a whole bunch of dislikes, they'll push it out to people. Because a lot of times, that's what YouTube wants you to do. That's where I'm going to leave this one. I'm going to move on to the next video. You should watch it. We're going to react to some lying, disgusting, vile humans. And I'm going to have to push myself to the top because I know Asmongold likes to be at the bottom. But I like to be at the top. I don't know. It just feels better. And it just looks better whenever I look over at it on my OBS screen.
It's another day that ends with Y on Twitter, which means that a lot of people are unhappy with me. Ex-Asmon fan here. I spent 12 hours on fan art of him only for him to shit on it and
just wait. This video keeps getting better as we go. This is gonna be a fucking banger. I watched about a quarter of it, and I think it keeps going with this energy.
Completely, and McConnell had to step in and tell him to chill and thank me. This man has given zero fucks about his community for years before he went down the MAGA content hole. So this is a person, this is a tweet that has 9,000 likes, and this is the image that he made. This is the fan art that he made of me that I shit on him for, and I bullied him in front of my entire audience. And
why'd you do that, Asmongold? You hurt people's feelings. Why are you so mean?
I hurt his feelings. I did all these terrible things to him and all of that. Well, guess what my mods found? We found the actual video. Fucking forehead. Like, my forehead's half my face. Like, I don't even know what to say, guys.
That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. I like how Asmongold is crashing out over the fan art. That's funny. This is peak content right here. This is peak pre-AI content.
You guys are fucking insane with this. Man, I look like an idiot. Like I look like a fucking idiot. And like, what is this? This dreadnought armor? And like, look at that mace. That's not demise. That's like a little fucking. That's like a fireplace sweeper where you move around the wood. Like about 2 fireplace sweepers. This is supposed to be the Might of Minithil. Yeah. What the hell is this, man? God damn.
Wait, you don't like it?
The toilet cleaner. Well, it's just the weapons. They're so small. Like, I want bigger weapons.
Okay, so you don't like fan art of
no.
Is that what you're saying?
And dude, and like McConnell is on the opposite side, also making fun. Like, do they really think that McConnell was defending this? Do they really? This is a show. This is Asmongold versus McConnell making fun of this art, and McConnell is in on it.
I like it, but I want the weapons to be bigger, okay? I don't feel adequate.
Guys, Asmon does not like your efforts of fan art. He doesn't like it.
I don't feel adequate. That's all. And look at my arms. Like, look how small this arm is. And this one's big and beefy.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, true.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
Like,
yeah.
Man.
He looks like Quagmire after he discovered internet porn.
It looks great. Yeah, it looks great. Thanks a lot. Sorry, not sorry, Asmon Goblin.
So this is the reason why this guy crashed out on me. He was crying over this for fucking 5 years.
Dude, I was lucky enough to witness this on X as it was going down, and it was beautiful. Absolute cinema. Diabolical.
Are you kidding me, man?
As if I wasn't getting mad at every single one of them.
Right? Asmongold shits on everybody, and if you take offense to it, then I guess that's on you, man. Why are you getting mad on the internet, man?
Completely justified. Yep, there it is. And yeah, what a pussy. This is what happens, right? This is what happens. And it's sad for me to see people make posts like this, but it's also not very surprising. And this is evidence that art can effectively piss him off. So if anyone feels petty, I highly encourage drawing him in his full balding glory.
Yes! That's exactly what he wants, you fucking idiot.
He wants to be portrayed as a manly man with a lot of hair, and there's no way these people are real, right?
No, they're real.
There's no way!
No, they're real. I see them in my comments constantly. Actually, they engage more than the people who actually like my content. Because people who like my content usually just watch it and then like it and move on.
How do you do this? Like, this is insane. Yeah, this is an artist classic. I don't even...
Like, you think that Asmongold actually cares? It's so funny. You think that we care?
Yeah, I can't believe this. You weren't even shitting on it, though. No, I wasn't. I'm sorry, I didn't...
Somebody called me great value Asmongold in the comments, and I was like, hey, whoa. You give me too much credit. I'm more like a can with meat written on it.
To ratio, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, if you're here to hate me, I'm texting too. Come visit me in my front lawn because we've got fun Wait, what? You want to shoot somebody? Wait, so okay, so you get in your feelings for fucking 5 years that I made fun of the way that you drew a mace. And by the way, I said thank you for the fan art, and I'm sorry, Gumi. I'm gonna let you know something. We put on a show here, all right? I hate to pull back the fourth wall and the curtain here.
Oh no, he's letting us know what's really going on. It was fake? Are you saying that Asmongold actually wasn't mad at all of this? Holy shit. Nope, I can't watch this fake streamer anymore. I'm done.
I'm gonna tell you, It's very obvious that we do this in order to make things funny. I'm being mad. I'm being ridiculous. McConnell brings it in, and he's like, oh, well, calm down. It's not that bad. And this is the show. This was what we would do for years. And you didn't even understand this. You're so old that you don't even have the excuse to have had Arrested Development through COVID. You should know better than this, that we were joking around. This was it. And it was obvious. It's the wank. And now you've been in your feelings about this for 5 years. For 5 years. And now you want to shoot people? Now you're trying to shoot people over this? Like, what?
Dude, absolutely unhinged. Absolutely unhinged. Why would you? Why?
What are you doing? Oh my God. I could take his art and then, bro, I take his art and then I have AI make the mace bigger.
Do it. Do it.
That's what I should do. Can I do that? Can I download the photo and
I think you can because it's fan art of you.
I'll be like fixed. Can I do this? Yeah, where's the fucking AI for this? I've got to find out a way to do it. Inviting people that are on didn't work too well for Boogie 2988. No, they didn't. It did not. Absolutely. Oh man. Yeah, somebody got it. Yeah, could somebody do that for me and send it to me if you've got a good one? I'll put it up. Okay. And yeah, print it out. I don't know if I could do it on Grok or not. I've got to find the photo itself and look at it. And yeah, Grok can't do it. Send it back to him. Only an unhinged person would make art like that. Well, what I find to be funny is this is the kind of stuff that people like this get into, right? This is the kind of stuff that makes them mad and, like gets their feelings hurt, etc. Is comments like this that I make. Asmongold fan here. And it's something that's totally fucking bullshit. Totally bullshit.
Dude, I get these people all the time. They love to try and argue with me on Twitter. I don't argue. I do not argue with people. I pretty much just like, I don't care. Like, think what you want. Fuck you. I have my opinions. I'm not even talking to a lot of people that like. So, for example, I will say an opinion that I have about a video game, and then I'll have a bunch of people reply to it, insulting me, telling me I'm a terrible person, calling me a Nazi, and I'm like, bro, all I said was, I don't like the colors in the Outer Worlds. All I said was, I think Avowed was garbage. And then they're like, oh, you just didn't like it because there was a black woman in it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you people talking about? And then a lot of people will straight up go to quiet death threats. Like, somebody needs to drag you behind a horse. And it's just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my God. Commission a better one? No, I don't even know what to do, man. I don't. I think that having it done with AI would be it. This is evidence. And he's responding to everybody. This happened years ago. I can only laugh at it. Then why are you trying to shoot people? Yeah, even as old mods with quantitative no function brain cells left. For
oh, fuck. We need Asmon viewer support group, right?
Sure, man. Yeah, you seem like you have no life. Go find it. Oh my God, bro. This guy.
You seem like you have no life as... This person just comments literally on everything.
Is in the trenches responding to every comment. What did he say? I don't remember the exact words. I'm looking for the clip, but he was specifically upset about the expression I drew because no, I wasn't upset about the expression. I was upset about the mace. You gave me a small mace. Like, if you look at the hammer, all right? This is going to be a little bit of constructive criticism. You might not like this, but you're going to get it anyway, all right? So if you look at this mace right here and then you compare it to this one right here, it's way bigger. It's way bigger. All right? And that's my favorite weapons in the game. And you made my mace small.
Yeah.
And then you want to act like somehow I'm...
That's the insult, man. That is very insulting to make his favorite mace small. Because he runs with that big dick energy.
The person who's wrong. The kid turned woke real quick. Exactly, yeah. That was a gnome, though. No, that's a dwarf. That's a dwarf. That's a dwarf. What do you? It's a gnome. Yes. And so a micro mace. Yes, exactly. And he gave me tiny little arms, bro. Like, what is this? I can't believe this. Pathetic art. I can't have people properly critiquing the art.
I think he needs to take a look at what this guy says about video games, honestly. I just know they give off this energy that they're probably one of the shills that are shilling for all of the worst video games.
Well, I mean, if we can just pull back just for a second, obviously it was just funny, right? We're just joking around, having fun. Like, the fact that the person got offended by this and upset.
I wonder what this person has to say about Fable or Dragon Age of Veilguard.
Upset by it.
Probably the greatest game of all time.
I'm sorry, but you're socially retarded. You're socially retarded. Like, if you didn't understand the game that we were playing here and the other things that we were doing, you're an idiot. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you didn't know what's going on, this is like joining one of my WoW raids and getting mad that I call you an idiot. Like, I'm sorry. That's the way it is. Emotional retard, exactly. So, yes, this is from 5 years ago. He has been holding on to this for 5 years. 5 years he's been mad. Careful with modifying art on his video, eventual person. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like a, not gonna lie, people getting upset in a joke is opinion. It is really sad, man. And he doesn't remember the exact words.
How about that?
Man.
Fake as fuck, dude.
His big villain origin story comes from something that didn't even happen.
Like, there's so much of I think this is about where I stopped. There's so much of this video left that there's no way he doesn't just go hard on this person and, like, look at every single person that this thing is, that this person has said. Every single thing this person has said. There we go.
Man, why do people take streamers so seriously? It's very sad. I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter that have been getting mad at me recently. I saw another one yesterday. So there was a guy right here. And yeah, let me see if I can find it. Here it is.
Oh.
And so anyway, this was another idiot.
Okay, so he's moving on to other idiots. Okay. I thought he was going to stay on that one person. All right.
Asmongold getting...
I actually have seen Synth Potato.
Angry at my account for, quote, always getting involved in culture shit, then not being able to find a single example has to be the most hilarious thing to happen today.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Why did you say that? And then, okay, yeah, he's gonna go hard.
Why is the #1 culture shit streamer getting mad at this for the first place? And so
yeah, we need more of this energy of just calling out these fucking morons, dude.
Make a response back to this person, naturally. Of course I do. And I say, well,
okay.
I said retard. And then this is what they said. Assassin's Creed Shadows has officially surpassed...
So much for go woke, go broke. All right. I guess we're switching places.
2 million players in just 2 days. So much for, quote, go woke, go broke. And you can see that very clearly. And, oh God.
Dude, it went down exactly how we all said it was going to.
You can see that very clearly. It's scoring 80 plus. And so you're talking about critic reviews, not user reviews. And set in Japan was always going to be a massive success.
Yeah, and also a lot of the user reviews were bad too. I don't trust any reviews. I trust people who actually play the games who I like. Like, that's it. The reason I watch the people I watch is because they're like me. And they have a lot of the same interests as me. And if they like a game, then I'm probably going to like a game. If they dislike a game, I'm probably going to dislike it. And people will just be like, oh, well, it's because you're in a culture indoctrinated. No. Nope. I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. I look at game. I see game. Game look good. I play game. That's it. Unless it's like $100, then fuck that.
And no outrage campaign was actually going to make a dent in that. And so... You know, obviously I put this out. Great job, you found one from 7 months ago. That totally proves your point. So,
even when you end up doing the thing that they say that you couldn't do, they're like, well, that's just one.
This person obviously is continuing getting mad about this, and they're upset, and so they made another response.
It's never enough,
right? Because, of course, one isn't enough. Oh, no, now they made another one. So I've been live for an hour. You've even made another post about me on top of this.
Dude, everybody was sharing this. Absolute fucking L. They were like, this is the right-wing face of video game culture on the internet. This is the right-wing streamer. And I'm just like, yeah. Yep. You did this. You all did this. The Roach King is a more trustable source than all of you fucking freaks. Like, this is the point that we are at. It didn't have to be this way.
There's another one. Now you're retweeting thinking about me again about something that I said on the stream. And so we have another one. Asmongold had to scroll down on my account to March to prove that I'm a culture shit. Meanwhile, the guy literally is the master of culture shit. Exactly. Gets into drama culture daily, but trying to call someone else for commenting on it 7 months ago. Hilarious dog. So he's retweeting it, trying to repost it. He posted one response. It didn't get a lot of likes. He had to delete this one. So I just did something a few minutes before my stream, and I think it'd be kind of funny to look at. I searched this person's name on Twitter, and I used the word woke.
Holy shit. Like, I don't think they know that you could even do that.
Because he said that I didn't have a single example, and the only one that I had was from 7 months ago. Well, unfortunately, you didn't delete enough tweets. You probably should have deleted more of them. Here we go here. Oh my god, Ghost of Yotai is a work of art.
Ghost of Antifa?
You have yet another soy face comment, NPC response from a person who is looking at the intro to a video game. Imagine not playing this game because of woke. GTA is woke, guys.
I bet this person didn't even play it. What do you think? Do you think they even fucking played it?
Pack it up. I can't imagine being an old person still thinking woke is an issue after the outrage around Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Fishing is woke. Rockstar has come woke. Woke is when women cry. Woke is the woke in question is a woman existing. There's literally we don't know about the story or plot. Ghost of Yotai again. And so you have this person that's been going out here making comments like this all the time. They've been shitting on this constantly, and they have the audacity to think that I didn't notice that. You think I didn't know that happened? Check his Concord not being woke post. Oh, we'll go through all of them. It'll just take me.
Yeah.
The reason why I show this to people is because people like this synth individual are just as dishonest and disingenuous.
Yeah, they are a synth. They're a synth from Fallout 4. They're fake as fuck. They're a robot with human skin.
As people that work at Kotaku or Polygon.
Yep.
And
they're trying to be insiders. They really want to be an insider in the video game industry.
Funniest thing that I can say about this is that now that this has happened, I will invite you to just simply look at what they say in the future. And you will see that it will follow the exact same NPC pattern that they are programmed to repeat. They will say the same things every time. This is not an authentic creator. This is not an actual person with their own opinions. They have an agenda behind things, and they try to pretend like they don't. Meanwhile, all you have to do is search it on YouTube, and you'll see dozens of examples of this. And the only thing that they have against me is that I do it too. But here's the difference. I know I do it. You're lying about it.
Yeah, and Asmongold ends up being right. Like, every time, because we follow the patterns. We see the patterns. It's not even really that Asmongold is right, and I'm like, well, I'm going to have the same take as Asmongold, because I barely watch Asmongold when it comes to culture stuff. Usually I watch Asmongold because of drama stuff. But the culture stuff, I don't take anybody else's word. I'll react to stuff and give my opinion, and almost every time the opinions line up, because we're not fucking retarded. I'm not fucking retarded. Like, I am retarded. Okay, I am retarded, but not as retarded as these people.
That's the difference. And then this is one of his best ones. Oh, here's another one. Guys. Oh my God. 28 hours later.
I don't think that this person even played Starfield, because what? Whoa, what the fuck is this person on? This is an absolute gaslight.
Multiple decent AI edits. I should post this.
should.
Should I post it? Should I do it, bro? Like, do it? Yeah. Okay, all right, give me a minute. Here, you have to? I feel like I have to, right? I mean, somebody went through the work on it, and give me a minute. And so, Asmon Gold fan art. Okay, give me a minute. All right, where is it? Here it is. Okay. Where's the post? I was upset because you made one of my favorite weapons in the game, Might of Menethil, smaller than it was supposed to be. This clearly was unacceptable. This clearly was acceptable. Luckily, we live in an AI age. Luckily, we live in 2025, and I was able to use AI to fix your art for you.
Yep. I think, okay, he just made a really good point, too, because I think that we're going to get a whole bunch of corporate trash games, and what are they going to do whenever we use AI to make them the way that we want them to be, and not the way that they made them? People are going to start banning AI from being used in their video games after they're released, and then eventually that won't even work. Good luck. Good fucking luck. We're going to have AI mods to make your games better, which might be a good thing for you, but they don't want that to happen because they don't want all of their LGBT flags being removed from their games. They don't want their characters to look normal.
Should we send him on another 5 years? Should we send them to another 5 years?
Actually, what you're doing is you're going to make the crash out even worse for the 5 years because they're probably going to take this with them for the rest of their life.
This guy to another 5 year fucking, yeah. And send that shit, bro. Yeah, there it is. Just put it in a community note. Yes, exactly. We're doing it 100%. Yes, I was upset because you made one of my favorite weapons in the game, Might of Menethil, smaller than it was supposed to be. This clearly was unacceptable. Luckily for you, luckily we live in 2025. I was able to use AI to fix your art for you.
Yep, fuck them. Out of the job, you're never going to make it in the art world.
So, and, trying to hate, he's going to spurg out and be so
Dude,
pissed.
I can't wait to see it.
I love this. Who's his mind? Oh man, this is fucking funny.
I'm glad we're back to Gumi. I follow Gumi now, by the way.
I've destroyed his life. He could have had his family. I guess so. But yeah, now I guess it's over for him, right? I mean, 10 comments already. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people will have a lot of opinions on this one, right? But anyway,
38. Oh,
so
dude.
Let me go back. I want to go back to this individual, okay? Because I'm not done with him yet. All right, we'll go back. I'll read the replies to it in like 5 minutes, okay? We'll let it cook for a minute. But let me go to this too. So this person is a constant complainer about being woke. Oh, here's again. This is the comment that they made. So much for go woke, go broke. This is another comment they've made again. Every time a woke game sells well, it's suddenly not woke. The only people that thought Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was woke were idiots. Like,
yeah, I thought there was something weird about the underage kid, you know. There was some weird stuff around that, but like, I don't give a shit. I really don't. I wasn't going to play Kingdom Come Deliverance anyway. Like, it's not my kind of game, so I was out on it.
Let's be honest. Like, people say that about everything. Where's another one here? If I can find another one. Being anti-woke has got to be the most miserable hobby. Well, I think that the one thing that's worse than that is complaining about people that are anti-woke all the time. And by the way, I'm still scrolling. All of these comments. Oh, here we go. Is this February 4th? Which game is this that's being discussed? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Yeah, and let's see if I can go woke. This is again Baldur's Gate 3. You have, let's see how many more of these. Ubisoft losing money because of woke and not because their last games simply weren't that good. Man, They simply weren't that good.
No, it was that kind of like it's just been getting worse over time. They're not good for the fans of Assassin's Creed. But I made a video going over what really happened to Ubisoft. And it was the fact that they focused on politics into 1 or 2 releases per year when they used to release like 20, sometimes 30 games per year. And they'd have like 5, 6 huge releases, and that just slowly over time stopped. And it happened right around COVID. That's when they stopped releasing a whole bunch of games throughout the year. And it's just really been downhill ever since, until finally we get to the point where they're getting sold off to China. Just like we said.
But anyway, I wanted to go back to the really important post that the guy made. Where was the Starfield post again? Can I get the Starfield post? I think I must have missed out on it. Oh, wait a second. So this is a second post that this person made about Assassin's Creed Shadows. So it's not like it was just one of them. January post though? Yeah, he's been posting about it every time there's been a big game that's come out, right? That's what it is. And sounds like he needs to wake up. Yes, the boycott definitely worked, huh? Good games will always sell well. Further proof that grifter creators farming outrage will never have a real impact on sales. Only game quality will.
Good games will always sell well. And they only talk about the player count. And they also spent hundreds of millions of dollars, even if, you know, it was one of the greatest games of all time, cultural phenomenon. Dude, they were not going to be making money on that game. They literally had to have everybody in the gaming community buy that game at full price, or they weren't making the money that they needed. Even making profit is not enough, because they have to make money for investors.
Well, Ubisoft had to shut down their main studio. They fired all the people that were involved with Star Wars Outlaws.
Yep.
They had to restructure the company with a shell company.
Yep.
That then was, here it is. Okay.
By the way, I called that to a fucking T, the whole China situation. Like, if you got the patience and the time to look back, I literally said that they were going to make a whole new company, move all of the games, their top games to it, and then they were just going to sell that to Tencent. And here we are.
If I can find it, and then sell it out to Tencent so they could continue to make money off of the IPs.
I fucking called that one.
This is 28 hours into Starfield, and I haven't seen a single repeated location. Guys,
hold on. Let me see if I can find that, because I totally did. Right here, March 21st. You can deny it, but Ubisoft is making a deal with Tencent to own half of their games and manage all of their big titles. By the way, I think this is a good thing. I don't want Ubisoft to fail, and I want them to make better games. March 21st, dude, all the way back then. I called this shit, man. Yeah, but Ubisoft doesn't need people to like it. They need people to absolutely love it. They are 100% getting picked up by China. Also, I have no ill will. I don't want this to happen, but it's hard to deny when you dig deep, and journos are lying about it being a huge success. Assassin's Creed Shadows is flopping, and game journos are pretending it's not, just like the other flops. But we can see the numbers, lol. Ubisoft is going to be sold to China. Let's fucking go, dude! I fucking called it!
I think he just might be retarded. Guys, this is bad. Do you need a doctor? Like, what's going on? I mean, this shouldn't be happening. Like, you haven't seen a single... Okay, does he have amnesia? He might have amnesia. Oh, no. Yeah, I've seen so many huge cities, smaller settlements, countless unique characters to interact with in quests, interesting goalposts, factions, etc. Few space battles in my time so far, not even close to feeling like I scratched the surface of what the game...
Yeah, this is just engagement farming. They're just farming engagement for people that want to see that their game that they like is doing good, or the game that they possibly like or pretend to like is doing good. That's the only reason people post like this.
Last offer, quote, empty game, LMAO. Man. And this is what people like this do. It really is. It's sad. Genuinely fucking sad.
Yeah, and they hope that the gaming journalists find these posts and they'll use them in their magazine articles, or not magazine articles, and their internet articles, and it'll get them even more engagement, and it'll bring up the likelihood that they get to be an industry insider.
So this is the saddest part about the whole thing. You guys ready for this? It gets worse. Wait, is there another one?
What?
Wait, which one is this? I haven't seen this.
What are you talking about? Oh, fuck! Dude! Every time.
You see, Synth made the mistake of assuming that I do not
Dude, I remember when this went down and people were doing this. It was absolutely crazy. It was like so manipulated. It was so easy to see, and then almost immediately they made it free to play. Almost immediately, because even when they put it on deep discount, still nobody wanted it. And guess what? Even when they made it free to play, still nobody wanted that shit, dude.
I have an autistic memory that remembers every annoying, stupid tweet that I see, and I am subconsciously calculating them in my mind to determine whether somebody's retarded or not. And he thinks that because I couldn't find an example within 40 seconds, because, you know, and this is one thing that he might not understand, is that when I'm streaming, I try to, you know, keep things going along, right? I don't want to spend an hour trying to find every post that this guy does. But now that you're going to make a point out of it, I think we're going to have to. We're going to have to do it. And so it gets even worse. No. Well, wait a minute. I'm not ready for that one yet. Wait a minute. So we got this one.
Fuck.
So Dragon Age the Veilguard is currently the #1 top seller on Steam worldwide. Biggest Steam launch ever.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to make a prediction and say, I think he mentioned it earlier, but I'm going to make a prediction and say that it's Concord. This person glazed Concord.
For BioWare with 68,000 concurrent players. Might be time to be considering the going woke, going broke isn't really a thing.
All right.
And games will always sell depending on how well they are received through
they're not even just lying to other people, they're lying to themselves. What's the point?
Word of mouth. Guys, some of this is so sad. This is actually so sad for this person. This is the reason why I called this person out, is because this is a completely inauthentic user on the internet that's putting forth bullshit about video games, misrepresenting people's opinions, trying to lie about things. And again, you are lying. You're, by the way, you're lying. And this is another thing. Let's listen to this. So I said again, you will never acknowledge the validity of those boycotts because they go against your personal agenda. When future issues like this occur, you will do the same thing. Don't believe me, wait and see. And that is my favorite thing about all of this stuff, is that people like this will prove me right in time. You will prove me right. And when you do, you're getting farmed for another video. Because I know what you are, and you know that I know what you are. And everybody else is going to know too. You're a mindless shill. You promote video games that are bad because you want to be an industry insider. You try to have all of the right opinions on things.
Yep.
And now you're getting called out for it, and you're crying. And the reason why, you put your eggs in the wrong basket. Outlaws visuals, and this is the reason why I had originally called them a retard.
Oh, fuck.
Star Wars Outlaws.
Okay, no, this is worse than the Concord thing, because the Concord is an obvious easy L, but holy shit. Okay.
Consistently draw-dropping, like, top tier. Cinematics are really great, too. It feels like Ubisoft is focusing more on the cinematic aspects of their game again, and I'm all for it.
Were we playing the same game here? Were we playing the same game? Because I played this, and it was garbage. Like, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood looked better.
Ubisoft just announced closures of this studio. It's because you're a delusional retard.
Yeah.
And this is my favorite thing about.
And so many people were trying to gaslight me into thinking that I was the one who was wrong. But like, dude, these fucking people, I can't even speak.
All of these conversations.
That's what they want.
Is that I always win.
Yeah, they want us to not speak. But guess what? Like, they just want us to sit down, shut up, buy their games full price, and then buy all the microtransactions and say that it's a 10 out of 10 just like they are. They just want you to eat up, piggy, eat up their slop. Because everything they do is the greatest.
Because I don't look at things through an agenda. I look at things through the truth. Meanwhile,
I don't even do that. I don't even look at things through the truth. I look at things through how I feel about my opinions on things. Like, if Asmongold would have said that, yeah, I think it was pretty good. I think it was a 9 out of 10, especially with the graphics and the cinematics. I would have been like, nope. Nope, I do not agree.
You have to lie to yourself and live in multiple apparatuses of lies and misunderstandings and just stupidity. That's why you always lose. And if you go back and you look at, and this is one thing to keep in mind. This is one thing.
Man, I'm seeing this with the new Halo right now. The campaign evolved. People trying to gaslight me into liking the new Halo and the trailer, and I'm like, bro, for one, everything looks AI generated. If you're denying that, then you must be one of those morons that posts like water destroying buildings and shit like that, even though everybody's standing around doing nothing, and they're like, oh, prayers for these people, or like, these people, they don't say prayers. I have these people in my thoughts, you know? Like, I hope they're okay. It's the same kind of dumbass people, man.
Very important. This person fundamentally does not understand games. Because if they did, they would have been able to predict whether these games would be successful or not.
Yep.
They're bad at
Dude, they follow a pattern. And like, yeah, a lot of times they look like they're AAA games, but also to get them to look like that, they spend $400 million on it. And even if like the entire gaming community bought it, it wouldn't do good. This is exactly what happened with Atari, by the way. That's why Atari went under, is because they expected literally everybody in the gaming community to buy their games, and they made more copies of E.T. than they did actual consoles. Which you don't see that anymore because everything's digital.
that. You're not even good at your job. Meanwhile, I am. That's why I'm me and you're you.
That's pretty true.
The studio's not shutting down. Excuse me. They're just firing a tremendous amount of people and then restructuring after a PR thing. Do you really think that they're not being completely gutted after their massive failure of a AAA product? Do you really think that's not happening?
Yeah, a AAA product that is an IP that they do not own for a franchise that is one of the biggest franchises of all time. It had to be successful. It had to be an astronomical cultural phenomenon success. And it was not that. It was just okay. And they couldn't afford okay.
Like, do we really? I mean, really? Is this it? And so, I mean, honestly, and this is the problem. People like this are so attached to their lies that they can't see the truth. And I will take every single one of these people out of the cave, even if they don't want to be. I will make them see the light. And even worst case scenario, their audiences will. That's it. And so this person has repeatedly glazed bad games, and they've specifically talked constantly. This is all like more woke stuff,
Concord.
more woke stuff, talking about woke stuff. This is the person who says they don't talk about culture stuff and woke stuff, by the way. This is just more woke stuff. And there we go, right? And this is also only one term. You can also go through female, woke, other stuff. Look at all this. Look at all this. They're mad that I called this shit out. Is there any woke stuff? It depends on what it is. Incredulous, pretending to be something he's not. Maybe you're right. So many tweets. And so, anyway, search him under Sweet Baby, maybe. Exactly. You're really trying hard to not be wrong? Well, yeah, of course. Why would I want to be wrong? Yeah, why would I
Don't type in DEI. Don't type in DEI.
want to be wrong? And then this is the last one I want to look at, okay? I want to look at his response to me. The reply is hilarious because I never brought up the validity of these boycotts. I'm going to read his original statement again. No outrage campaign was going to make a dent in that. I never brought up the validity of these boycotts. Further proof that grifters will never have a real impact on sales. He said he never brought it up.
Who's the grifter? Who's the real grifter here? And you're right. Grifters don't have an impact on sales. That's true. Because no matter what you say, no matter what you do, a failing game is a failing game.
Man. Boycott definitely worked. Yep. Room temperature IQ. I guess so. But that's what happened. And what a retard. And so I just want you guys to see that these are the people, they're not sending their best. Let me just tell you that.
They're not sending their best.
They're simply not sending their best. Did you talk about Nina already? I did a little bit. I'll talk about it more. But serious memory loss. How many studios have to be shut down in order for these retards to realize? A lot more, apparently. Many of them just simply don't want to... I think that they just don't want to acknowledge it as being real or legitimate, right? That's the main issue that they have more than anything. And
yeah, they just want to live in La La Land where they're always right and everything that they want succeeds. And that's not how it works.
I get why, right? I understand why. But at the same time, it is pretty sad. You've slain their best already? Yeah. And he ran a poll asking if DEI... Wait a minute. Wait, we've got one more. Wait, and then we'll look at the replies, okay?
It gets worse.
Poll for research reasons. Does DEI diversity...
I'm gonna lose my mind, dude. I'm gonna lose my mind.
In video games such as Work by Sweet Baby make you more inclined to buy a game, or does it not matter? So you did a poll on whether people care about DEI, and even your own viewers don't care about it. Also, by the way, this is such a horrible way to frame the question. So, anyway, yeah, they don't want to admit they're wrong. Well, all I'm saying is that this is the reason, by the way, and this person... and
yeah, who gives a shit if Sweet Baby Inc. is behind a video game? If the video game's good, it's good. If we want the video game, we want the video game. It doesn't really matter who makes it. But it's just kind of a... it's kind of a pattern with people who work with Sweet Baby Inc. There's a few of them that are really good. There's a few games they worked with that are really good, or at least good enough. But most of the time, dude, they end up being who is responsible for the closures of terrible, terrible studios. They used to be good. Used to be great studios.
This is, I suppose there's going to be one more thing. There's going to be, additionally, one more thing. Let me go back and find it again. Actually, I think I might have distracted myself. I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, people like this say this stuff. They like talking shit and being annoying, right? But at the end of the day, the question's terribly laid out. At the end of the day, they will be wrong. They will be wrong because they have an agenda. You do have an agenda. It's obvious that you have an agenda, and time will prove me right. And now that I've called it to attention, I think more people will realize that agenda, excuse me, and they will also call it out as well. And that's what happened. Oh, he's on YouTube? Yeah, he's trying to gaslight? Yep, he's trying to gaslight. He says, I never brought up the validity of the boycotts whenever I'm responding to him with a tweet of him bringing up the validity of the boycotts. They're just retards. They're lying retards. It's sad.
It is.
And so anyway, yeah, I do think that I'm doing a public service by doing this, because there's a lot of people that are like this that I think misrepresent games. I think they're bad actors. And at the end of the day, these people want to hoodwink you into spending $70 on something that's bad.
And unfortunately, I have some friends that do get hoodwinked, and they think that there aren't any like actual 10 out of 10 games. And they're like, well, this game's fine. I'm kind of bored of it. It's kind of boring. And I'm like, bro, Why did you buy Assassin's Creed Shadows and you're not going to buy games like Expedition 33? You're not going to buy games like Baldur's Gate 3. Like, seriously. Like, my friends, they always buy into whatever's being fed to them the most on social media, and then they don't buy the good games. And they even will acknowledge that the good games are good games, but they've never played them, so they have no idea how astronomically good they are. And it's just fucking crazy to me. It like room temperature IQ.
In order for it to reinforce their worldview on what they think gender should be. That's really it.
By the way, that same friend that I just gave an example of bought everything from Destiny 2. Every single thing. And he always complains. Every single time. Still plays it.
Liars can't argue for long. Yes. And over time, people will realize that I've been right about all of these predictions. They'll look at people like this who have been consistently wrong, and they will find out of who's really living in the real world. You know? That's it. And so anyway, so people talk about the next one. Yeah, I'll wait for the next one. That's it. The comments are so good already. So let's see what people have said. Ex-Asmongold fan here. You're upset? Yes, there it is here. It's too small. Fuck. He's being too nice. The art is bad. Uh-oh. Add a girlfriend. No, AI can't do that. Not even AI. Geez, easy. Great art, Asmon. Better than a poor artist. Oh, man. Oh, it's going to trigger a lot of people. AI clearly is the future of art. Oh, yeah. Totally the future of art, guys. You can convince yourself enough of a lie, you can tell it to yourself. Yes, AI did. Look at the response. Yes, exactly. You see Grok's response? No, I did not see Grok's response. Amazing fix. Nah, bro. Like, nah. Face looks a lot better now. True. 100 times better than the original. Another 5 years. Gumi watching his art be recreated by AI.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
That's
shit.
pretty good.
That's bad, guys. It's really bad. You patched it? Yeah, bro. Like, I'm just glad that I was able to fix it for him, man. Like, that's all. Just try and help this guy. AI makes the original artist absolutely.
Dude, absolutely cooked. Absolutely cooked.
Man. Sometimes I just really like to have fun, man. What can I say?
Yeah,
and
this is
check
fun.
his Twitter. He said he was rage baiting and he turned off the replies. No, he did not. You did not.
Wow.
You did not.
No, there's no way.
I forgot how much fun I love rage baiting. This is so fun. And you turned... Bro.
What a fucking pussy. You never do that.
Man.
You never turn off the replies.
These people, it's like they try to enter
like, that's how you own yourself, by you turning off the replies. I get people all the time that'll like reply to me and then immediately block me or turn off the replies to their posts. So I can't say anything back, so it makes it look like that they're the ones who are right. Like I was going to comment back anyway, or if I did, I was just going to call them a fucking idiot or something.
To a PvP server, and then they have somebody attack them back, and now they're sitting back in the Sanctuary City. They're sitting back in Shatrath. Oh, I didn't like that. Didn't feel good. Oh no.
That is how it goes, man.
That's what happens, bro. And so people like this love to talk shit, but the moment that they get any little bit of pushback at all, even a slight little bit, they start crying about it and acting like a victim.
Yeah, and like what they'll do is like, oh, they might win one and we might die and have to respawn, but we're gonna keep running back. Like, like we don't give a shit, man. We really don't. Like, we're not gonna sit back in the sanctuary. We might re-gear. We might change our gear up. We're running back out there.
That's what happens. And rage bait, yeah, bro. You rage baited people, but you replied to every comment, and you even told people, you even replied to yourself twice to tell people that if they went to Texas and they went to your house, that you would shoot them with a gun. Yeah, you did get rage baited. You rage baited yourself. You made yourself mad.
Yeah, they're addicted to being full of rage. They actually like rage. They like being enraged. They can't help themselves. They just engage with content that they don't like constantly. And it's like, that's the thing that they engage with the most. They never engage with actual things that they like. What they'll do, even when they engage with stuff that they like, they'll be like, oh, everybody hates this, but I love it. And it's just like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Why do you do this to yourself? You're gaslighting yourself.
You went and made yourself mad the whole time. Yeah, he not responding. He's sitting in the graveyard. Yeah, he actually made himself mad. He was only pretending to be retarded. And yeah, do you think he's watching? I hope so. Maybe he does. I would say maybe he has ad block off, but honestly, I don't get any ads, so it doesn't matter. It would be believable if he didn't stop replies. Exactly. Yes, look at all of these. Look at all of these. Bro, look at all of these replies. This is, you have no life. Go find a life. It was for WoW content. I like the mount collection. I don't think I clipped it, but I posted it. It happened 5 to 6 years ago. I don't care. Fine, distinguished individual. Cared enough to comment. Thanks you for the boost. What did he say? I don't remember. I wonder if he's going to put his account on private. Because that's usually what people like this do. This guy rage baited himself, bro. Imagine giving birth to this guy. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait, so this gets better. I want to let you... wait, hold. Wait, put this in perspective. So it wasn't originally locked. So he started getting negative replies, and then he locked it. Because people were being mean to him.
Let's go!
The replies were cooking him, making fun of him. And then now he's like, oh, well, no, that's not it. Like, and then he had to turn it off because he couldn't handle it. This is how supervillains are formed. Listen, maybe I should commission this kid to redeem himself.
By the way, this is how supervillains are formed. Well, guess what? The heroes and the anti-heroes always come out on top. We might lose a few here and there, but we always come out on top.
You know, I can commission him to redeem himself and draw good fan art of me. And we can have an internet poll, and the entire internet will decide whether I give him $1,000 for it or not. Because you have to remember that this might have been an important day in your life, but for me, this was just Tuesday. I don't even remember this post. Like, my mods were able to find it, luckily. But all this is for this is all entertainment for me.
I'm going to forget about this, like, in a couple days. Actually, I'm probably going to immediately forget about this whenever I move on to doing some other videos. I'll remember it again whenever I edit it later.
I'm here to have a good time and have fun.
Woo!
So if you're not laughing around and smiling, then good. That means I get content out of you too. That's it. So now we're rewarding the guy? I don't care. I think it's funny. I think it's funny. I think the whole thing is funny. Everything
like,
about
we're not doing this as a punishment. This is just fucking around. Like, we don't do this kind of thing as punishment. Like, we're not trying to punish these people. We're just having a good time, man. We're just making content. Like, we really don't care.
This to me is funny. I don't give a shit about this. It's ridiculous. It's a win-win. Yeah, welcome to the circus. Exactly, yeah. It's about redemption, yeah. And don't you want, I mean, again, everybody always wants me to support artists. Everybody says, oh, support artists, support artists. And now I'm thinking about supporting an artist and everybody's mad.
Yep, fuck 'em.
I just can't win.
Nope.
So now they don't want me to support artists.
Yep.
Can you believe that?
Yep. Like, even if you back down to the mob, it's never enough. It's never enough. So fuck them. Fuck them. Just do your own thing.
Oh, wow. Twitter doesn't want me to support it. Wow.
I'm in the world, not of it. I'm an alien, just an alien.
So we could do a thing. He can let me know if he wants to do this thing. We have an art contest in Discord. You should tell him to submit. We should have him do a thing where he can do a redeem. I don't know. Maybe if I honestly I think people like this are just like so deranged they would never do it.
Yep.
But I'm thinking about a 1,000.
Like, even if they need that $1,000, they're not gonna bring themselves to the low point of engaging with Asmongold. Like, I don't engage with Nazis.
$1,000 prize. That if you draw fan art of me, and you know you got to DM me, and if you want this, I will give you the opportunity to draw fan art of me. And I will post it on my main Twitter account with a poll. And if the poll is over 50%, yes, I will give you $1,000.
That's good. That's real good.
But if it's no, you get nothing. And every single person will be able to vote on the poll. The entire internet will be able to decide on it.
That's good. That's so good. Even people who don't like Asmongold would vote.
Is the use of AI permitted? No, it's only for him. If he wants to use AI to make his picture, that would be... That's like an M. Night Shyamalan fucking The Village at the end of the movie Sixth Sense twist, right? Like, no, that's cinema to me. If yeah, would there be a prompt for it? Yeah, loser in his room, and it'll probably just come with a picture of me, right? And so that's too much, yeah. And so we'll see what happens. I think this guy, if he uses AI, give him $1,500. Double it if he gets AI. If he uses AI. Now we're cooking, guys.
Yeah, that's really gonna show that the person like actually can't come up with good art, good enough to get $2,000. Tell you that.
I really like the sound of this. Okay.
Donate to the Fables Folly Farm. I can't believe we're back talking about Johnny Somali. I missed him. I missed him so much. I'm so glad we're talking about him again. When is his trial? When is his actual trial? Not this secret trial that went down where he was trying to get this small little victory where he's, you know, not going to do 10 years. He's going to do 8 years. By the way, I don't know how many years he's going to get. I don't know what the maximum he's facing right now is. I'm just saying that as an example. Like, he's still getting time. He's just getting a little bit less time. Honestly, I kind of think that he's not going to get any time, and kind of this process is going to be the punishment. And then they're just going to kick him out of the country and not let him back. Hopefully, that's at least what happens. I don't know, man. I don't know. Governments are kind of incompetent. But still going to laugh at the situation because this dude's an absolute fucking moron. The judge just humiliated Johnny Somali in court for lying. How about that? Let's check it out from Matozi.
The judge just humiliated Johnny Somali in court after it was extremely obvious he just kept lying in court.
Yep.
Thus, committed perjury. And this is just an insane update revolving the whole Johnny Somali criminal trial. But this court hearing that we're talking about today is actually a completely separate trial than the main one that we've been covering for roughly a year now. All right, so we now are about to walk into the Johnny Somali case. Most people don't know about this, but we were lucky enough to get the information from one of the other Korean streamers who essentially was indicted, and now a bunch of them have to testify, including Johnny Somali. So this will be interesting to see what happens. Up until now, nobody knew about this new trial except for the internal circle of the Korean streamers involved. And this is because Johnny pressed charges on another Korean streamer. And the reason Johnny did so was because Johnny showed the deepfake first, and then Youngmon found out there was a deepfake of him making out with Hank, Johnny's friend. And obviously he was very upset about it, so he then showed the clip on his stream while he was venting about how he felt like this was disgusting, that this was done without his permission. But that turned out to be a massive mistake for Youngmon to do so. And Youngmon, he has a good lawyer and a good strategy. But he's currently in prison, and he's coming as a defendant because Johnny filed this charge against Youngmon to essentially lower his own sentence because he wants Youngmon to drop the...
Yeah, by the way, Youngmon is, whatever his name is, I don't know how to pronounce it, is in prison because there were some riots and he was throwing bricks and stuff at a courthouse. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say about that. I guess get owned. If you're gonna crash out and be a fucking idiot, I guess you deserve it.
charge against him. The goal here is to essentially get some sort of legal settlement. What he's missing though is South Korea really wants you to apologize formally. And Youngman has formally apologized to the courts 5 different times by handwritten letters from jail. And Johnny so far hasn't apologized a single time.
Yeah, because he thinks that he's done nothing wrong.
And the worst part is, Johnny has pleaded not guilty for doing the exact same thing that he's pressing charges against Youngman for doing. Because remember, his whole defense in the last court date I covered was, I didn't make
Dude, he's actually a fucking idiot. Holy shit. Like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong, but this guy did, even though he did the exact same thing I did. But what I did, it wasn't wrong because I did it.
I may have just distributed them. We know for a fact that Youngman did not make these. All he did was show it on his stream. So he just distributed them. He didn't make them. So make it make sense. This is just extremely hypocritical. And I really don't think that's going to help his current criminal trial. But once we arrived at court, we found out that Johnny is pressing charges against Youngman for a whole plethora of things, not just the deepfakes. So obviously, deepfakes, I
think maybe Johnny Somali has it in his head that he can do this, and the other guy can't because the other guy is Korean. And Johnny's American, and we can do that in America. That's not how it works when you're overseas in a different country.
Expected that, but the new ones were stalking, which is okay, and assaulting him with a baton.
So this one started with the deepfake, and then they added the baton in like May, and then added stalking in August. Who's the first witness?
Hank's the first witness. So Hank is the first witness.
Hank's the first one. Hank, you, Ramsey Khalid, Ismail, and Bang TV.
Okay, those 3 guys. Very interesting.
So Hank's supposed to be the testifier, and Youngman is standing on
the stand.
Yeah, on the stand.
These are more serious charges against Youngman.
Yeah.
Second, third, fourth offense. Of course, he documented everything. He live streamed everything. It's still there for you to go and see.
Youngman did say he hit Ramsey with the baton.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Silence your phones.
Crazy.
Which is extremely rich coming from Johnny, because he was the one who showed the deepfakes first.
It's funny that he says the word rich, because that's exactly what Johnny Somali is trying to be, and he's not ever gonna be.
While bragging about it, he was the one who live streamed himself stalking the female streamer Nanati. And of course, Twiddledee and Twiddledum here were the ones who brought the baton to the fight.
Youngman. Don't pause. That's a baton. Youngman picked my baton up.
Yeah, he fucked up. He's like, pick my a baton. All right, dude. Fucking cook.
So on October 22nd, the people who testified were Hank Yu, which is, Johnny's only friend here in Korea, Johnny Somali, or Ramsey Ismail, and Bang TV. Quick lore dump. Bang TV is a Korean IRL streamer who is one of 4 people involved with trying to stop Johnny from harassing the citizens of South Korea for content. This South Korean streamer clique consisted of Dagun, who infamously punched Johnny, Youngman, who is the man involved in the trial right now, but also is currently in prison for throwing cinder blocks through the courthouse windows while Seoul was under martial law.
It was cinder blocks, not bricks. Okay, that's fucking ridiculous.
On December 3rd, 2024. Clearly that wasn't a great idea. And then you have 2 other streamers by the name of J Company and Bang TV who are currently not wrapped up in any legal trouble. But Bang TV was called as a witness today as he witnessed what happened revolving the alleged baton incident. So we got to court, went into the courtroom, and I was getting ready to make a little sketch, and then we found out that Hank and Johnny, they felt humiliated about the deepfakes, and they requested privacy for their testimony. They can do this because on this specific trial day, they are the victims.
Oh, we found out that they're in what, protection?
Yeah, witness protection.
Yeah.
Because Youngman is so scary.
Yeah, basically they want to, for the safety and like the security of the witnesses, they're sequestering everybody.
Interesting.
So they're keeping them separate. So it's also a good thing because they're going to keep them separate for us.
Yeah.
We'll just watch the show. So.
Interesting. So we just found out that Johnny's actually getting 60,000 won to testify here. So now the guy actually has an income. 60,000 won is roughly, what is it, like 40 bucks, 50 bucks?
Holy shit. that sounded like a big number. 40 bucks. Wow.
Don't spend it all at once.
You have to pick. He probably came to Hank right away.
No.
Right.
It goes to the Soju Fund.
Straight to the Soju Fund? Awful.
I think on the last trial, everybody came, so I think they
you try to make it private. Because
How many people
is the
That Tectone?
victim, and therefore
That guy looks like
victim can
Tectone.
ask, I don't want this to be open because it's so embarrassing to me, even though he's the one that put it on camera. So that's the situation.
Let's go. You a clout chaser for who?
Cloud chaser for who? What do you mean?
Free Israel. Support the IDF.
That's all.
You know, he's saying that just to piss people off. That's exactly why he doesn't actually believe that.
You're an anti-Semite. I'm a Jew, and you are being anti-Semitic.
Yep. Okay.
So we then had to leave the room.
Dude's actual fucking retard, dude. Like, he thinks he's trolling, he thinks he's funny, but dude, he has completely cooked himself.
But that was fine because thankfully we were still able to find out exactly what was said regardless. Here's the TLDR of Johnny's testimony from our legal connections. They said, in quote, "It was so bad it could have been possible to acquit. He lied countless times. Repeatedly said that he didn't know / didn't remember to things that he clearly / probably knows. He avoided questions about having distributed on YouTube before Youngmun. In quote, saying, police already verified I didn't make it. And then he fell back on the whole I didn't make it excuse over and over again. Because for some reason, he really thinks that production versus distribution is still relevant here. He then says that in November, Youngmun made false accusations against Johnny. This is why he apparently filed the charge, which also admits transactional nature here. He also falsely claims that Youngmun distributed first. He then lied to his lawyer on March 27th, said that both Youngmun and Bongbong distributed first. And then he claimed that Youngmun leaked his address, but also claimed he didn't know his own address, so he couldn't even confirm that he knew his own address to know that his address was leaked to begin with. Like, the whole situation was apparently just awful. Then to make things even worse for him, he couldn't remember the important details of the assault. And then he says he doesn't remember who brought the baton. That would be because...
Yeah, because he's just going off the top of the dome, and he's retarded. He's actually brain dead, so when he's going off the top of the dome, then everything that comes out is just shit.
It's very clear that Hank brought it. Then he also said, in quote, the whole thing was so traumatic that I don't remember.
Yeah, like, he's not even keeping up with the case at all. He's just... I don't even know, man. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's just going. He's just going and going. Without a care in the world. I don't understand, dude.
And then says it was the scariest day of his life when Youngman found him. He also says that Gino was the only witness of the assault, and then tried to submit video evidence on the spot, which is improper procedure, because this should have been submitted to a prosecutor a long time ago. All evidence needs to be submitted up front. And then he admitted that he said, come find me on both October 28th and October 30th, essentially inviting the Korean streamers to go find him. And then finally, he said he filed charges against 1 or 2 other people and mentioned Dagon, but not Bongbong. So that's kind of interesting, because why would he say 1 or 2? Because we know he filed them against Dagon, but maybe the ones he tried to file against Bongbong were not successful. Who knows though? We're gonna find out in a few days. And then to make things even worse...
Well, I guess I'm gonna see you in a few days again, Tozy.
First for Johnny, the judge apparently told him multiple times that his story just didn't add up. And then kept asking questions Johnny didn't want to answer, because that would just make things worse for him. So obviously, that was a massive train wreck. But here's the notes from Hank's testimony. So Hank says he didn't know who Youngmun is. But
yeah, I think maybe I don't think Johnny Smalley actually has a strategy, but I think his brain might have a strategy, but it's rotted, so it's not a good strategy. That try and make this as confusing as possible so nobody can keep up with it, and they just let him go because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's what he's trying to do, I think, but he doesn't even realize it.
But accused him of
it's not
creating
gonna work.
deepfakes. He then also asked the judge why it took a month for him to sue, and then told the judge that the Korean law isn't fair to Johnny, so he doesn't trust the Korean criminal system, and thus thinks the case is not serious. Because obviously that's extremely relevant information when you're testifying. Like, dude, nobody cares what you think about Korean law. You're here to testify about this case. Get on with it. He also didn't give a straight answer when it came to the production of the deepfakes, and then stated that he had a desire to reach a settlement and essentially wants money, which, you know, makes sense because it's not like Johnny is a cheap person to be harboring. And then he admits that he's only in this case because of Johnny, and then said, in quote, if Ramsey doesn't want to press charges, then I don't want to either. So that's interesting. You know, Twiddledee and Twiddledum, they did their thing, and it actually seems like it kind of worked out for them in the short term, because they also kind of kneecap themselves by doing this. But then they called Bang TV to the stand, and here he says that Youngman showed the deepfake to explain to viewers.
Dude, these two guys combined have a deep winter IQ. Like, this is less than room temperature. This is deep winter IQ combined.
The crime committed against him. He then confirms that Johnny attempted to flee to the US after he was attacked. And then,
of course,
on October 28th, he challenged YouTubers to come find him, which obviously mitigates the accusation of stalking. And then he told the court why this group of streamers were actually tracking down Johnny. Because Johnny was harassing elderly, the Statue of Peace, he was trashing Korea, and he was treating Koreans like animals. He then explained that he never saw Youngman hit Johnny with a baton and saw no injury to Johnny. And when it comes to the deepfakes, he thinks that Johnny produced them, but knows for a fact that Johnny distributed them first. And our legal connections believe that the case against Youngman was crumbling, because the deepfake had circumstances similar to Bong Bong. Because Johnny seemed very malicious by showing the deepfakes. Both Bong Bong and Youngman were like, what is this? This is awful. Why is this a thing? Then for the stalking, Johnny said, come find me, which is a massive contradiction when, you know, he's claiming he's being stalked. And then for the assault, Johnny couldn't remember details. He failed to properly submit video evidence. And then they were the ones who brought the baton.
The only reason that he couldn't remember the details is because he hasn't been paying attention to this case. Or he's trying to make everything confusing on purpose. And it's just going to make everything last even longer, which doesn't make sense to me, because that means that he's just going to be involved in this much longer, and that the date that he is going to get out is further away.
So overall, it's an extremely weak case. But then the court called Johnny and Hank back to reach a settlement, because Johnny wants mutual withdrawal of charges, and Hank then backs down from demanding money. And Johnny says that he's willing to put this all behind us. And this is where they ended up settling this case, which ended up being a win for both parties in this particular trial. I even have the translated text of the initial settlement here, where the agreement says, all their names, do not wish to pursue punishment for all criminal cases that have occurred between them. Obviously, this must be formalized to go into effect, but there's nothing really stopping this to do so. And we heard one legal opinion that Hank and Youngman will still have to testify next week, but the odds of that happening are probably going to be pretty low. This is because in the last trial, he ended up pleading guilty when it came to the Lotte World incident, and then they ended up canceling the witness they had from Lotte World that was going to testify against him. But as of right now, Johnny is facing 2 deepfake charges, which are heavy-hitting charges, carrying a max of 7 years in prison for each charge. But with one of them being dropped, that's definitely a big win for him. But in doing so, though, he did commit perjury. So that could be a very nasty trade-off for him, which can heavily backfire. Because now he's openly shown that he will happily lie to a judge. For Youngman, though, it absolutely does not make sense to risk fighting this case, because he's already in prison. And all of those charges that Johnny tacked onto him could easily add a decade if he was actually convicted for all of this.
Actual fucking garbage move, too. That's like evil. That is so fucking evil.
And let's be real, risking a decade in prison to stick it to Johnny is absolutely not worth it. So trading 3 charges for 1 is definitely a big win for Youngman. But as of now, we don't know of Bong Bong having any deepfake charges pressed against her. So for now, Johnny doesn't have the same leverage against Bong Bong as he did on Youngman. So my understanding is he's facing a max sentence of 12 years due to the cap based on these charges.
That's
Even
such a long time, dude.
One deepfake charge, he's still facing a max sentence of 12 years. Although his minimum sentence has definitely been reduced now. But this just made this court case.
But he still has a minimum sentence. I think it's not going to happen. That's my prediction. But you know, maybe. Here's hoping that actual justice is served. But I just don't think so. I just don't see it.
Way more interesting because now, I guess Johnny finally locked in. Essentially, Johnny is playing a soccer match, and he's losing 7-0, and he finally scored a goal. So he did the lean forward and locked in mode, and now he definitely has a long uphill battle to see if he can get some freedom here. But I am definitely looking forward to seeing Bong Bong testifying in the next couple of days. But since I was kicked out of this courtroom, I wasn't able to make a court sketch. And last time I made one, I was kind of blown out of the water by how many of you guys actually wanted my sketch, as it was bid up to like $500 on eBay. I literally thought it was going to go for like 20 bucks because that's what I said in my last video. But if you want my original court sketch that started all of this from the original trial of Johnny, which was never sold before, I've made prints available here right here at this link for $20. So, because last time I was like, oh, you can
That's
get it for
fucking
$20.
great.
Now you can actually get it for $20.
Dude, that is so much better than all the court sketches that I ever see.
Bucks. At the top of the link description
I
down
wish they
below.
were all like
so get
that.
them while you can, because I'll be removing them forever soon. And we also dropped a brand new Halloween 2025 collection on Matt.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Go get you one of those. Johnny Somali is so cooked. At least he's stuck in Korea having to do all this trial stuff. Even if he doesn't get any time, I'm at least glad that he's having to go through all of this, because what a fucking L. What a fucking L for the streaming world. An L for content creation, a W for everybody for him not being able to still crash out. I mean, at least we got that. But I think that nothing's going to be done, and he is going to crash out even worse than ever before. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. I can't wait to react to that content, because you know I'm going to be there. I'm going to farm that shit. Because really, all of this means nothing to me. Donate to the Fables Folly Farm.